O Show. This is the Big 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 O Show. This
So here we are. I wanted to show you the backyard again because we had some trouble last time, but you know, cuttersedgepro.com does some amazing stuff, and they're the boys and the girl. They're having fun. There we go. Right, Maiden? Right, Bono? There we go. They're having fun. I'm having fun. Look at our Sylvester palm. It is beautiful. We got another one in the front yard like that. You can take your home and landscaping to the next level. And the artificial turf, look at that. Look at that, the two dinosaurs going at it, huh? Look at that. Gotta love the dinosaurs. Look at them. They like to bite each other's legs. That's what they do. They play with each other and then they bite each other and they piss each other off. It's fun. One is Bono, which is the one farther away from you, and Maiden. She's the girl right here. She's a badass. That's for sure. So anyway, see the flowers are coming out. Very nice. cuttersedgepro.com, folks. This big tree there will start budding that I'm showing you there soon. It'll have all kinds of flowers. I'll post another video and I'll show it to you. This is a backyard where everybody gets to hang out. Over there in the corner there, I put the barbecue and cook. So that way it's the farthest away from the house, you know. If I light myself on fire or somebody else, we're out in the corner away from everybody. There you go. So you can get some flowers coming out, which is a beautiful thing. And I swear by this artificial turf, it always looks phenomenal. I don't have to cut it. I don't have to water it. And so I'm saving a lot of money, hundreds and thousands in the long run, because I'm not watering or, of course, cutting the grass. And you know, here in South Florida, we cut the grass like every 10 to 14 days.
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
When you move, you need a reliable company led by passionate folks eager to assist its customers during a transitional process that needs to be smooth. Call Essential Moving Experts at 844-368-5750 for all your local and long-distance moving needs. You can rely on Essential Moving Experts. Mention the Big O Radio Show and get $150 off. Family owned and operated. They offer free 30-day storage, full service moving, fully licensed, bonded, and insured. Moving was never so easy. EssentialMovingExperts.com.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
Oh, I think I know what this is. Houston, we have a package. Hello?
No matter where you are, the Sloman Shield home security system guards your home. With next-gen perimeter protection, 24/7 monitoring, and interior motion sensing. And right now, get a free Sloman Shield security system and doorbell camera, all professionally installed, for free.
Shield your world, the Sloman Shield.
With more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes, Welton Rayome is committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. At Welton Rayome, they don't get paid unless you win. They handle complex personal injury claims caused by the fault of another in both state and federal courts. They handle auto, trucking, motorcycle, slip and fall, and bicycle accidents. Call 954-966-4646. That's 954-966-4646. Welton Rayome can help.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
This is the Big O Show. 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 This is
Oh, great. You have a doorbell camera. Now you have a front row seat to your house getting robbed.
They're breaking into my house!
Ooh, there goes the TV. I'm sure it'll turn up at the pawn shop.
No, not the TV!
Just because you can see them, that doesn't mean you can stop them. With Sloman's, you get 24-hour monitoring, a free home security system, and professional installation. Plus, free doorbell camera, one that'll actually work for you.
Get out of my house!
Get out of the house! Call 1-800-ALARM-ME.
The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
Right, we are ready to rock and roll, South Florida. Yes, sir. We are here in Las Vegas, the MGM Grand, out here for Showtime. We are looking forward to a Canelo-Charlo fight that is going to be a lot of fun. We're going to be there on Saturday night. They just had the press conferences right now for the entire undercard, as they got a pretty good undercard with Barrios and Ugas. The Cuban is here. Erickson Lubin, Jesus Ramos Jr. Actually, Erickson Lubin is going to be joining us in about an hour, I think. No, Elijah Garcia is the one that's going to join us in about an hour. Hopefully, we'll be able to talk to Jimmy Lennon Jr. too. So we are rocking and rolling, and we told you that over the next couple of days, we're going to be on a little later in the afternoon, like closer to 3 o'clock. By the way, at 3:15, Ira Winderman is going to join us. So we'll get into that whole deal with Damian Lillard, which, listen, I put out a video yesterday, and I read into what really went into this thing right away. And this has nothing to do with the Miami Heat. I know it's really quick for people to blame Pat Riley and all this stuff. And, you know, the one thing that does end up shining a light on Riley and Butler and the organization is 4 years ago, I was told by many media members that cover the NBA and insiders and all that stuff that Jimmy Butler would have no problem recruiting a second star. Well, guess what? They've had one hell of a problem recruiting that second star, and they can't do it. Now you're 5 years into the Jimmy Butler run, and you have failed to get that other star, and that's probably why you'll never win a title. I mean, you've done more than enough the last 4 years. I mean, to get to 3 Eastern Conference finals and 2 NBA finals is just absolutely phenomenal by this organization. The Heat organization is awesome. What happened in this entire scenario had everything to do with Damian Lillard. Damian Lillard is a wuss, is what he is. He might be a great basketball player. He might be super clutch in big shots, and he might beat the Heat this year in the playoffs. But when it comes to business, he is soft, and so is his agent. And they're liars, because if you were really committed to Miami, you stick to your guns. I mean, James Harden is having a party where outside of the party, or all over the place, right? There are signs what is it? Morey is a liar. Daryl Morey is a liar. I mean, he's sticking. And listen, I don't want to compare the two human beings because James Harden's a piece of crap. Okay. But he's sticking to his gun and he's doing what he wants to do. Just like LeBron does. And LeBron will take a 1-year deal to keep the team on an edge and all that kind of stuff. Just like Giannis, who's Mr. Nice Guy, came out and said, hey, if you don't do something, I see there's a certain commitment, I'm not going to be committed either. And Damian Lillard is a wuss. That's all. He's a softie. He has no balls for business. And in business, you got to play hard line, bro. You got to be tough in business. You got to have an edge. You know why? You're going to get knocked down. Damian Lillard wouldn't last 2 years in media. I'm talking about if Damian Lillard was just a regular human being working in my business. That wussy wouldn't last 2 months in my business. Okay? My business is one of the toughest businesses that exist on the planet. And that's all it was, bro. The guy didn't have the balls to stick to his guns. And the Heat were sticking to their guns. The problem was they didn't have the guy on the other side. The guy talked the talk, but he didn't walk the walk. So he folded. And when Joe Cronin told him, no, I'm not trading you the Heat no matter what, he should have turned around and said, really? Okay. And if you don't trade me to the Heat, well, then I'll make sure I'll tell everybody that I don't want to be here and I don't want to go anywhere else. So you go ahead and do it. And you go ahead and pay me the next 3 years, $216 million. And I'm going to make sure I'm going to make your life a living hell. But he has no balls. None. Brother, when I got tired of the corporate crap and I looked around and I said, bro, radio's dying. Why am I staying here? I can go on my own. How do I get out of this place? And I figured out a way to get out of QAM. I played those idiots like a freaking violin, dude. Like a violin, I played those idiots. I knew what buttons to push so I can get the hell out of there because I knew I couldn't leave because my contract, I was locked in. I can't walk away because they would have me for the length of my contract. But if you fire me, you only have 1 month on me of non-compete. Because they, QAM used to put you 6 months no compete, right? But then they try to not pay you for 6 months, pay you for like a month or 2 or 3. And I was like, no, I'm not signing a new deal with you guys. You got to take a hard line approach. Oh, you guys want me? Fine. You got to guarantee my 6 months. If you want me out of work for 6 months, guaranteed. They weren't willing to do that. I said, well, then you can only give me a non-compete as long as you're willing to pay it. And they were only willing to pay a month. And I was like, that's perfect. Thank you. Because I knew I could get another job right away. I didn't have any problem. I knew. See, the thing about QAM is I didn't need them. They need me. I don't need them. As you can see, we're fine. We're in Las Vegas for our 3rd time in 18 months. You know what I mean? So I don't need them. And I knew I didn't need them. But you have to take you got to have balls, dude. You got to be tough in this world. And Dame Lillard apparently has toughness for games. But in real life, so you want to blame Riley? You go ahead, bro. You knock yourself out. I'm not blaming Riley. Now, I will blame Riley for this, and I'll blame Butler, and I'll blame everyone in the media that fed me that bullshit. Oh, no, Jimmy Butler won't have a problem recruiting a second star. Well, guess what? Jimmy Butler can't recruit a second star. Dwayne Wade can recruit 2nd and 3rd stars and 4 stars. He can recruit all kinds of stars. Jimmy Butler apparently is not a recruiter, cannot recruit, and people aren't dying to play for him. In fact, the whole Damian Lillard thing was based on whose friendship? Bam Adebayo. So that bullshit that they fed you and me 4 years ago, that they could easily find a second star and that Jimmy Butler would be able to recruit a second star, well, guess what? Jimmy Butler can't recruit a second star. That's where your criticism can lie. Okay, we'll have Ira Winderman on in about 13 minutes, and we'll talk about all of these things. But that's the bullshit that remember the bullshit that they fed us, and I cut that bullshit out right away. The media, the local media didn't. They bought it. All of them, the writers, everybody, every one of them bought it because they all sold me the same bullshit. Oh, no, don't worry. All these contracts are interchangeable. The Johnson & Johnson and the waiters and the white, all these contracts, none of them were interchangeable. Nobody wanted those contracts. They were terrible contracts. And by the way, I killed that one right when it happened. This one, I was very skeptical of it. In fact, I remember bringing on my man Sedano on it, And he was like, no, they'll recruit. No, Jimmy will be able to recruit. And I was iffy about it. And that's where your criticism lies. Jimmy Butler can't recruit a second star. There is no second star that wants to play with Jimmy Butler. That's your criticism. But Riley got screwed because Dame doesn't have any balls. That's all. He didn't know how to stick to his guns. Man, things are going to get ugly before they get better. That's just how it is in life. You know, we're in the middle of a bear market right now. Anybody that's investing and you're investing in some certain stocks and or crypto or whatever, you've been in a bear market for a while now. So you've been buying things at lows and all that. And this is when people quit and they sell and they take losses. Whereas the strong people stay on the course and keep buying. And they know that it's bad, but it will get better eventually. But you have to have the patience to kind of hang in there. And Dame Lillard doesn't have the balls, the patience, the determination to actually get out of what he wanted to get out of. So he allowed Joe Cronin, who, by the way, didn't make it. It's the whole DeAndre Ayton thing. Miami didn't have a center to offer. And since they have every other kind of piece around, they really needed a big man. And Nurkic is not very good. He can shoot some threes, but defensively, he's not going to bring it like this guy. Ayton will give you more defensively and rebounding. He's not an offensive juggernaut or anything like that. He's not really a center for today's game, but I guess they wanted a paint protector and a rebounder and that kind of stuff, and he fills that role for Portland. But Portland didn't make this amazing deal, but that's where Dame Lillard ended up folding. And Riley was thinking, okay, because Riley's rock solid, bro. He's a stud. And he knows when you got to attack, and you got to be relentless. And he's been like that with the Miami Heat, and that's why they've been so successful, because he's been relentless. Damian Lillard was not willing to be relentless. Damian Lillard did not have the balls to take a hardline stance, to be the bad guy. Because sometimes you have to say good night to the bad guy. And you just got to be the bad guy. And if you're not willing to do it, you are going to end up, hurting yourself. And that's exactly what happened. So now he goes to a good situation because he does have a championship opportunity there. That at least that part, Cronin came through in that sense. Would you rather live in Miami or Milwaukee? I don't think that's even a conversation at all. Okay? Hell, didn't you see FIFA now move their offices to Miami? Anyway, so, it's just, that's really what happened here. Riley thought that the agent and the player were as tough as he was. Riley thought that the player and the agent were ready to take on the Heat. Okay? Pun intended. And unfortunately, the only kind of heat he can handle is a 24-second clock. He can't handle any kind of other heat, apparently. This is probably the guy that if he's married is going to be a complete skirt wearer the entire time. That's who Damian Lillard is. Now, really tough on the court. Everywhere else in life, soft-ass dude. So, that's my take, and I'm sticking to it. So, Riley just chose the wrong guy that wasn't willing to tough it out. Pretty simple. So, afternoon, one and all. We are here in Las Vegas. And first thing we did last night, In-N-Out Burger, baby. Yeah. Oh, God. That was so good. God, that was so good. Anyway, so we're here at the MGM Grand. We'll be out here for a few hours. Marcel Louis Jacques will join us at 4:30. Ira Winderman will join us at 3:15. We're going to have Elijah Garcia, who's taking on Armando Residens, I think it is. And we're going to have some fun talking to Elijah. And we're going to also talk to Erickson Lubin, who's going to take on Jesus Ramos Jr. We got all of that going on. And remember, on Sunday, we're going to be at Tommy Rocker's here in Las Vegas doing our pre- and post-game show. All right, starting at 11 a.m. if you're in the East Coast. Obviously, if you're out here with us, we start at 8 a.m. You ready for that 6:30 alarm? Well, they're 24 hours, aren't they? I think Tommy Rocker's is open 24 hours. If I remember correctly, they're open 24 hours. We're going to go by there now when we get off here later on in the afternoon. Go see Kyle and stuff and go check out the spot, make sure everything's kosher. We brought some brand new Big O radio show shirts with us on the trip, and we'll be giving some away also. So we'll have some fun with that. We brought them in Dolphins colors, orange and aqua. We got them also in black and gray, so all kinds of stuff. So we will be displaying the brand new Big O shirts, thanks to our friends at 3A Graphics. Looking forward to that. Let's see. Steve Chapman says, good morning, everyone. You arrived safe. Yes, safe and happy with In-N-Out, bro. Got our rent-a-car, and the first thing I did was drive to In-N-Out, and there was no way I was going to go with an empty stomach to the hotel. Hells no. Jamie Zorria is in the West Coast with us. Well, he's really West Coast. We're not West Coast. We're out West. We're not West Coast. He's there in San Jose. I hope you had a good trip. How hot is it in Vegas? Not too hot. I mean, we haven't been outside that much, to be quite honest. But it doesn't seem that hot right now. Now, 82. Now again, it's in the morning. I'm sure now at 12 and 1 and 2, it'll probably get a little hotter. 85 now. All right. Omar Lopez, Giovanni is in. John Rouse is in the house. Think Blue Dodgers is in. He says, Los Angeles, get that victory cigar ready for Sunday. Lisa Rose is in. Gordon Shumway, Nyborg, Dude 67, Ray Sosa, Brian Walters, NorCal says they've got a watch party in Vacaville, California, filming a video to a Finns hip-hop track after the game. Nice. Jay Gelfin is in. Says, I'm done with Damian Lillard talk. It's over. Move on next. Yep. Ray Sosa. Johnny D says, Finns up. Steven Gonzalez is in. Viva Las Vegas. Mr. Torres is in. He says, do you think we're going to win? Yes. And they're going to win on the ground and in the air. They're everywhere. They're like Sagua Fair. They're going to run on them. They're going to pass on them. And they're going to win. Take the points. That's the other thing I'm going to. Oh, you know what I get to do today, Sean? I get to cash in my Dolphins over 8.5 wins ticket from last year. How about that? I know I barely won it. Although at 8-3, I didn't think I was barely winning. I thought I was winning that thing by ease. So I could tell you this. This is one of the things I'm going to end up doing today. One, I'm going to take Detroit -2 against Green Bay at Green Bay. I'm taking Cincinnati -2.5 at Tennessee. I'm taking the Pats +6.5 at Dallas. I'm taking the Chiefs -9.5 at the New York Jets. And I'm taking the Miami Dolphins +2.5 against the Buffalo Bills. I'm laying the wood today here at the MGM Grand. I'm going over to the sports book and get that shit done right away. All right. So just so you'll know, I'm going Dolphins +2.5. I'm going Lions tonight -2. I'm going Cincy -2.5 at Tennessee. Pats +6.5 at Dallas. Chiefs -9.5 at the New York Jets. Those are my picks. And that's what I'm sticking to. Right that dire there. How do you like them apples? Tiger Shark Tony is in. The trip was good. A little bit of a delay getting out of Miami because of the weather. But outside of that, it was good. Big O, your conversation with Matt yesterday got me thinking if Miami can get 1.5 possession lead and run the ball, they could make Josh Allen get impatient and make Josh Allen make mistakes. Yeah, force him to pass. Okay? What the Dolphins have to do is eliminate the run game against the Bills, and I'm talking about not just the running backs. I'm talking about the quarterback. Don't allow him to run the ball. Force him to beat you with his arm. And if you do that, I think you can force Josh Allen into mistakes because that's what he normally does. But you cannot allow him to get his legs going because that's a pain in the ass to stop. And then that's what makes him the danger that he normally is. But if you keep him in the pocket, I don't think he can be the same impactful player that he normally is because I don't believe he's a pure pocket passer. So running is the key here. Dolphins have to do anything and everything to stop the run. And whenever he runs, hit him and hit him again and hit him over and over and make sure you get as many big shots on Josh Allen. Punish him when he runs because he's certainly going to try to punish you. That's for sure. Gus 1388. Louis is in the house. Don't forget, folks, to smash the hell out of the like button. Appreciate it, all of you out there. All right, we promised you that Ira Winderman would be kind enough to join us to talk a little Miami Heat and Damian Lillard action. Let's get to it with our Acura Pembroke Pines Miami Heat and NBA report.
Heat fans, time for the best insight of your favorite team with insider Ira Winderman, exclusively on the Big O Radio Show. It's the Acura of Pembroke Pines Miami Heat and NBA report. Here's Ira Winderman.
Is the man that may not be covering a finals team this year.
You know what? That's what you told me at midseason last year. And the one thing, Big O, you have to admit, whether it was the 2020 finals in the bubble, whether it was winding up within one Jimmy Butler three-pointer from the finals against the Celtics 2 years ago, for all this talk that we're going to deal with now, they're not good enough, they're not going anywhere, they're not going to advance. The one thing I'll say to you is doubt at your own risk. Because haven't we done that now for 4 years?
No, they'll be good. They'll overachieve like they normally do and all that good stuff. It's just harder to see that. I'm not mad at all at the Miami Heat. I said my piece yesterday. I followed up today. This is all on Damian Lillard and his agent in my eyes. I think Riley and company, they were ready to go hard line. And I don't believe the agent and the player were ready to go hard line, even if Joe Crone told, no, I'm not trading to Miami. And that's when you had to be a mother effer, and he wasn't willing to be a mother effer, and he folded the tent. And the reason why, people, Riley should have given more. He probably didn't give enough. That. Riley was taking a hardline approach because he expected the people on the other side to meet him halfway with a hardline approach, and that's how you overcome. But if he wasn't willing to do that, and then he folded Del Tento, he might be a tough player inside a 24-second clock, but clearly when it came to business, he wasn't really willing to get his hands dirty. And so the only criticism I have out of all of this, we'll go back 4 years now, okay, Ira? And this is the bullshit that I was fed. Jimmy Butler will have no problem recruiting a second star. The Miami Heat will have no problem recruiting a second star. That's the only failure that has gone on, that now you're going into year 5 of Butler and you failed to get that second star. That's the only failure, and that's a failure of 5 years, not this offseason. This offseason, I blame it more on the other people that did not meet Riley halfway. Your thoughts?
My thoughts are two things. I totally agree with you with Damian Lillard not being enough of an MFer. And I'm going to give Portland credit here, and I haven't given them a lot of credit through the process. This is like those dramas you watch where they try to read a jury and see how they might vote and who they are. And Portland knew from the get-go, Portland and other movies, Portland knew from the get-go Damian Lillard was not going to go off. That wasn't his personality. So they sat in their room there in Portland and they said, you know what? This is not going to be James Harden. This is not going to be that. They read the room. Honestly, Pat Riley didn't. He doesn't know as much about Damian Lillard, maybe as much about Aaron Goodwin. So he never got that meet him, not even halfway, a quarter of the way. Damian Lillard is a very nice person, and through this entire process, when MFing is required, he was a nice person. I spoke to you a bunch of times in our Acura Pembroke Pines reports, and we spoke about the Jimmy Butler practice in Minnesota, when he played with his Rolex on, took the 4 other worst players in practice, took on the starters, kicked their butt, went right out, did his Rachel Nichols sit-down interview. He planned that out and did that. And throughout this process, when I spoke to agents and I spoke to people around the league, they said they were waiting for that. That never came. Portland read the room there the right way. Yeah. The one thing I'll also say is this. We right now on, and hopefully I don't have to do another emergency Acura Pembroke Pines pod, but we still don't know the other shoe. Depending on what they get for Drew Holiday or not, we're going to find out whether Joe Cronin still blew it and gave up the chance for the best possible package out of spite of not wanting to look bad for his own job preservation. So let's wait to see what comes in for Holiday. If for Holiday they wind up with 2 first-round picks and a prospect, the Blazers did fine. If not, then we can question it. And here's the irony. The Heat can be winners and make Portland winners. If they say, okay, 2 first-round picks and Jaquez, done deal, we get Drew Holiday. Then the Heat win, then the Blazers win, then Damian Lillard wins. So
okay, but you're not making that deal without Drew agreeing to an extension, right?
You're making that deal knowing that the way the salary cap rules work, it's about the only place Drew can get his kind of money. So you're making that deal knowing that, and here we go again, you're going to have to move off Tyler Hero and certainly Duncan Robinson and not bring back Caleb Martin when he hits free agency next July. So that's the thing. That's the thing you asked me, Big O, about moving parts. It's not just about getting Jimmy Butler his alpha. It's about all the other parts in the circle there. So Jimmy Butler might get an alpha, but at what cost? There's a lot of balls that Pat Riley and Andy Ellisberg are juggling. And here's the difference, though, Big O. They're juggling them while still winning. This is not the Marlins selling off and hoping that something works out. This is not the Panthers with Dale Talon reaching and hoping this or this works out. This is a team that is doing all these machinations while not sucking, while not dropping down to Michael Beasley range since the 2008 season. 15 years since this team has drafted in the top 10 of the lottery. It tells you about how they can play this game.
Yeah, no, it's very Shula-like. Because Shula always kept winning and yet still was making the playoffs every year pretty much and producing. So, yeah, you're right. It's exactly the same thing, except Riley and the Heat have actually been a little bit more productive even than Shula was, which is pretty damn impressive, overall. Now, the one failure is that's the only criticism I have, that it was thought that it would be easy to recruit that second star next to Butler, and that's been the one – that's the only criticism I have for the Heat and Jimmy Butler. Apparently, Jimmy isn't as good a recruiter as Dwayne Wade is.
Well, it's situations. Dwayne didn't have this luxury tax concern. Dwayne didn't have this draconian CBA to deal with. And also, Dwayne didn't have the built-in contracts already in place of Bam, of Tyler, and these max extensions. There's a lot more moving parts as the NBA wanted, because the NBA doesn't want super teams. So they're doing everything they can to make it harder. So for Pat Riley, what he was able to do with Shaq in 2004, what he was able to do in even adding 3 players in Antoine Walker, James Posey, and Jason Williams in 2005 ahead of the 2006 championship, and then, of course, the big 3. Since then, Big O, the world has changed. There have been some big 3s, but outside of the Warriors, there really hasn't been a team that's been able to sustain or even find success with that.
It's by the way, you can follow him on Twitter at Ira Heatbeat. And Ira, where does Miami go from here outside of the Drew Holiday thing? Because they obviously made some moves there, and there are no more whales right now. Okay, that stuff is over now. But what's what's the next tweak? What are they trying to accomplish now? If they can't get the star, what's the next step down, in other words, to try to improve?
First, there always are whales. There's James Harden. I don't like him, but he's out there. Big O, just humor me. There could be Joel Embiid if the Sixers don't get Drew Holiday and implode. We know there won't be Giannis right now. But there's still always those names that Pat Riley has in the envelope that just in case. I think the difference is this. As you spoke about, in 2014 when they lost LeBron James, they went all in on your favorite, McBob, Josh McRoberts, and Danny Granger.
Oh, God.
So they could lure LeBron back. They didn't do that this offseason. They went for Thomas Bryant. They went for Josh Richardson, Jaime Jaquez in the draft so that they could move forward regardless. This is still a team capable of at least a top 6 playoff seed if they give a rat's ass about the playoffs. And I'm telling you, Big O, as long as you can avoid, and I know they didn't avoid it last year when it worked, but if you can avoid Milwaukee and Boston in the first round, I don't care about Philly or Cleveland or New York. You still have a chance for another playoff run. They will be right there. They will still give themselves a chance because Jimmy Butler still cares, because Bam Adebayo, super role player, whatever you want to call him, and because Tyler Hero is a goddamn bucket. And this team exceeded 95 points once in the NBA Finals. Tyler Hero will give you some of the offense you were lacking at the end of last season.
Well, we're now going to find out where Jovic is, and if Jaime Jaquez can really help out, and if, what we saw from UCLA and little flashes in the summer league, is this a guy that can, really contribute right away since he is mature? So the youngins, I can't say they're deeper because you lost 2 guys that really help you out, but I can say they have a chance to actually have a little bit more versatility if Jovic and Jaquez could actually come through.
Well, and again, they have to earn their way for this reason. Let's look at a potential starting lineup. Bam Adebayo, Kevin Love, Jimmy Butler, Caleb Martin, Tyler Hero, for argument's sake. That gives you off your bench Josh Richardson, Thomas Bryant, and Duncan Robinson just to start with. That's an 8 deep already. So Jaquez and Jovic, if they can contribute, they can give you a little bit more. But it's not like you don't already have something you can put in play of quality, proven NBA talent. So basically what I like about the Heat, and I've always liked it, it's never given. It has to be earned. Jovic has to earn his way in. Jaime Jaquez Jr. has to earn his way in. They'll be given the chance, but there are other guys to keep them afloat. And again, I'm not saying that Butler, Adebayo, and Hero is a big 3. What I am saying is it's a quality 3 with the best coach in the NBA.
All right, you're not really going forward any of this Harden shit, right? You're not really gonna start writing about this.
Look, I can't stand watching Harden, so I hope it doesn't happen. It could make sense on a level of you need scoring desperately, but I would think that he would move off of that. Look, you give me Drew Holiday, and I'm giving you, when I talk next week in our Acura Pembroke Pines report, a completely different outlook. Because I got to tell you, Big O, try scoring points.
But again, it's got to be a couple of years. He's got 1 year left on that deal, right? I mean, you cannot get. Well, you told me they would give up for him. That's too much if you're only going to be a 1 year rental, right?
Or you know what? Or you go back to the Harden example. Remember, he has another year as a player option. So you tell him, hey, if you're going to pick up the player option, we can work out, see if Hero's going to work out. We can move Duncan. He'll be another year along, and you do that. But Big O, imagine the end of a playoff game and you're trying to score against Bam Adebayo, Jimmy Butler, and Drew Holiday. Good luck, buddy.
Yeah, no, that'll be a lot of fun. Yeah, that'll be a lot of fun. All right, Milwaukee, is that your favorite in the East now?
It has to be, but they did lose a defensive component. Chris Middleton will not be the scorer he was before because Dame will get his points. Still have to see how that works out. Look, I thought Boston's been overstated for this reason. I thought Smart was a real glue guy they're going to miss. I thought Robert Williams was a glue guy. What has Kristaps Porzingis won in his career? If I missed something, Big O, what has Porzingis done that all of a sudden they got Porzingis and now they have this supposed super team? I'm not buying that. I do think Milwaukee and Boston are a cut above, but number 3 is there for the taking. Philly's a mess. They don't know what they are. The Knicks are the Knicks. Their big offseason acquisition, was picking up the kid from Villanova from the Warriors. There's not much there. Dante DiVincenzo. Cleveland, hey, The way the Knicks rock them in the playoffs, who knows how they're going to come back. Remember, Donovan Mitchell could leave after this year. They have to deal with that. Not that I'm starting Heat rumors there. So right now, yes, I think the Heat could just as easily finish 3 and honestly as 7. We'll see if they give a crap about the regular season. And you know what, Big O? I'm not sure if you can convince Jimmy Butler to care about a regular season.
Yeah, no. And by the way, as for Donovan Mitchell, I've kind of cooled off on that dude a little bit. After watching him this year, I've kind of cooled off on him. I don't know if he's the dog that some people think he might be. Anyway, what else you working on in the Sun Sentinel?
Well, I'm polishing off my positional outlooks for those who missed this week. We already did center, power forward, small forward. Today we're talking at point guard. Obviously, the Kyle Lowry situation. Right now, the Heat don't have definitive answers at point guard. Tomorrow morning at sunsentinel.com, I'll talk about shooting guard. The good thing about Tyler Hero, if you followed him on social media today, he seems to be back in. He's made his jokes about, they'll just offer me next summer. He said he's already getting a Lillard Bucks jersey because he's from Milwaukee. That's what I wanted to see. You know what? You can have all your social media fun during the offseason. But Big O, if you show up to work next Tuesday at Florida Atlantic University, I don't give a crap where Jimmy's traveled to. I don't care who Tyler's practicing with. And if there's one guy who can bring it all together, it's Eric Spoelstra.
Yeah, and by the way, for Tyler, this is part of the game. And if he ever wants to eliminate any of that doubt, he needs to eliminate the doubt on the court. That's all. Stay healthy, be the player that you can be, and then they'll never offer you again. They'll want to keep you there. And if you want that kind of respect, you kind of got to earn it too. And at least he didn't go all, explode on them and get really crazy on them. I don't know. Somebody must have reached him. Somebody must have talked to him, or the young man is level-headed enough to understand, hey, man, I've kind of put myself in this position, and really I can't blame anybody but myself. I can't expect people to be incredibly loyal to me when I haven't been, consistent enough for them.
Big O, bottom line, they gave him a 4-year, $120 million contract that could be worth $130. The Heat have taken care of Tyler Hero. No matter what, Tyler Hero will be well paid somewhere, and Tyler Hero will be a bucket somewhere. So just go out and do your job.
That's right. Follow him on Twitter at IraHeatBeat, and make sure you subscribe to the South Florida Sun Sentinel like I and many others do. Ira, as always, thank you, my friend. Appreciate you.
Maybe we'll be back with the Drew Holiday bonus edition. Thanks, Big O.
Thank you, my brother. Appreciate you. There you go. Ira Winderman and our Acura Pembroke Pines Miami Heat and NBA report.
You've been listening to the Acura of Pembroke Pines Miami Heat and NBA report with Ira Winderman. When you're looking for award-winning service and great deals from the #1 volume Acura sales dealership in the Southeast United States, you go to Craig's Inn Acura of Pembroke Pines at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
Right. I like it. And we thank Ira Winderman. What a wuss that Damian Lillard is. God, no balls whatsoever. Tell Ira that Tyler Hero means check in the mail. I've been hearing about his prospects for too long. Sean looks so bored in the background. I don't know. Sean's in Las Vegas, bro. I don't know. We're in Vegas. I'm not sure you can be bored in Vegas. You know what I'm saying? We'll end up with Donovan Mitchell. He doesn't convince me anymore. I got to say. Just doesn't convince me anymore. Jimmy's is 34 going on 35. Feels like last season was the beginning of the decline. Hope I'm wrong. Yeah, that's the problem now. And now you're going to play 5 years of Jimmy Butler with no second star. And you'll never be able to maximize it because you never got that second star. What a shame, dude. Big O, Canelo or Charlo? I'm going to pick Canelo, dude. I know Canelo's coming off the wrist surgery, and he just won. And so he still hasn't looked like himself. Charlo, again, lots of boxers. My favorite of all time, Sugar Ray Leonard, moved up a couple of belts too. And Charlo's moving up a couple of belts, although he does have the frame to carry the weight, but he hasn't fought a lot at this weight, and taking the pounding I don't know if he's used to that. And so that's the part that's kind of an unanswered question. You know what I mean? He's got to be super motivated because this is like a fight that will like put an exclamation point on his career. Plus, Charlo's brother was supposed to fight here, right? Did you know that, Sean? Jarnell was supposed to be the fighter in this fight against Canelo, and then the brother stepped in. So in a way, you've also got that motivation that you're kind of doing it for your bro. You're doing it for your career. There's a lot of like, chips on Charlo's shoulders. But I'm gonna go Canelo. The experience. He's gonna have the crowd. I mean, it's Thursday. And there were like 30 Mexican fans outside on the right there, chanting for Canelo already. And let me tell you, you'll see now. This is his first time here. He hasn't been here. Friday and Saturday, that hallway we walked through, Friday and Saturday, it's almost unwalkable. The amount of fans, and then the weigh-in. You got to go to the weigh-in, my brother. Yeah. The weigh-in is a circus tomorrow. I mean, it's really cool. I love boxing, okay? And I get it. It's not as popular as it used to be and all that kind of stuff. I don't care. But I love boxing. It is fun. And there is nothing like being in Vegas for a fight night and fight week. The buzz is there. I mean, you feel it, right? You feel it already in this room. You know what I'm saying? It's fun. So I'm going to go Canelo. Yeah, he's heavy favored too in this one, but I'm gonna lean Canelo on this one. Let's see, what else do we have? Nuggets going back to back. That's good, but we were just talking east at that moment. We were talking west. Donovan or Embiid are probably locked with the Knicks. I don't know why anything would be locked with the Knicks. I don't understand that. Have you been saying that for 30 years now? I'm just wondering. It's hilarious, dude. Everybody has the Knicks, and the Knicks get nobody. That's all. And they only got the kid last year because Dallas gave up on him, and Dallas did something stupid and went with Kyrie Irving, which Mark Cuban's good in business, bro. His basketball acumen sometimes can be questioned. Yes, sir. What? Oh, okay. All right. Elijah Garcia's coming. All right. So we'll get Elijah Garcia. I got it. All right. Good stuff. All right. So Elijah Garcia is going to join us in a minute. So we'll have some fun. Oh, Ira came up with a good one. Embiid. What about him? He'll fit nicely. Embiid would rather go here than New York. You know what I mean? So I don't think it's going to be an issue. Ready to go? All right, we're going to rock and roll with Elijah Garcia. We got one hell of a boxing card here. Jermell Charlo taking on Canelo Alvarez. Mario Barrios taking on your Denis Ugas, who is the Cuban kid. And being Cuban-American, your Denis, that's going to be a really good fight to watch for me. Erickson Lubin is going to take on Jesus Ramos Jr., and Jose Resendez is taking on Elijah Garcia, and we're going to talk to Elijah Garcia now in a minute, so we'll have some fun coming out of Phoenix, Arizona. And he's 15-0 with 12 KOs, and he's going to have some fun here battling at the 160-pound. The 20-year-old, by the way, following up. You can give him he can sit down and join us there. So we'll have some fun with Elijah Garcia. He turned pro in 2020, and he's knocked out 6 of his last 8 opponents. So we'll have some fun with him here. Elijah Garcia is ready to go. There we go. Elijah, how you doing, baby?
Good. How you doing?
I'm in Vegas, dude. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got you.
Like, if anybody complains about being in Vegas, I'm just going to bring Elijah Garcia to knock their ass out.
I appreciate that.
You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
just give you a freebie knockout. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
That is that's some crazy stuff. Yes, we are here in Vegas, ready to go. How you feeling, man? You've knocked out 6 out of your last 8 opponents.
No, I feel good. I feel ready. This fight, I'm not going to be looking for the knockout. I know. I think that's what caused that's what caused me to go full distance. My last fight, first couple rounds, I was looking for the knockout, but it comes with experience, and I'll be ready. I'll be ready to handle this task Saturday.
I always talk about this. As you get older, I'll be 57 on Sunday, right? And so your body starts to fall apart as you get older. The only positive about getting older is that you get experience. And that's right there. That's the example right there. 3 years from now, as a fighter, you're going to know so much more than you did 3 years prior. You know what I mean? You live, you learn, and a lot of times the aggressive nature of a boxer gets the best of him.
Yeah.
And it seems like you're trying to tame the aggressiveness and keep it at an even keel where you can keep it steady and not let that emotion take over too much, right?
Yes, sir. 15-0, 12 knockouts. Every knockout I had didn't come with it didn't come because I was looking for the knockout. And it happened again in my last fight, so it don't happen by coincidence. And this fight, I'll be looking to showcase my skills, show everybody what a good jab I have and how I'm able to control the pace.
What made you get into boxing?
Boxing, I grew up playing football, baseball. I played a couple seasons in basketball, soccer, had about 50 freestyle matches in wrestling. And, boxing's a family affair. My dad fought, my grandpa fought, both sides of the family. There was boxing around, and I just rolled into it.
Okay, I like that. And what other sport would you have chosen if it wasn't boxing?
I really like football, but my dad says I was a real good baseball player. I played catcher and center field, so maybe if I was stuck with that, I would have been playing for the D-backs.
Catcher? Holy crap, dude! Would you have? Now you probably would have stayed at center field, right?
I actually didn't mind catcher, to be honest.
Really, dude?
Yeah, catcher was cool because I remember I'd always get how they steal the second base. I would get that full out. Always get that guy out.
All right, but how about the knees, bro?
The knees? I don't know. It really didn't bother me. I was about 10,
young.
11. Yeah, 10, 11. Yeah. So.
Yeah. You're so young, spry, and moving around that you don't feel anything. At that
exactly.
Age. That's beautiful. Now, do you remember that moment that you fell in love with boxing? Like your parents can do it, your grandfather can be in it, your cousin can be in it, but until you kind of live it, and then that moment that convinced you, do you still remember that moment?
I don't think it. I think I just stick with it because it kept me real disciplined. You have to be disciplined. When it was time to make weight, it was up to me. I chose to eat good, and I chose to get up and run, and I chose when I wanted to go to the gym. And I think it just turned me into a whole better person, physically and mentally, and spiritually. So I think it's just, I just stuck with it and I became a better person. And over time, it changed me.
You've been on a roll. Obviously, you're 15. You're coming in here and you are taking on your 15-0, 12 KOs, right? How do you keep the record out of the entire process? Because obviously, it's all, Mayweather has made his entire career about having that O next to it. You know what I mean? But when you step into that ring, you can't be thinking about those kind of things. You got to think about the dude you need to take care of.
Yeah. Like you said, to be honest, I forget that I'm 15-0. All I worry about is my opponent and what I need to do in order to get the victory and look good. Boxing, you don't want to get hit, and you want to take as least amount of punishment as you can. And that's what we've been working on this camp. Armando Resendez comes in throwing a lot of punches, and he works real hard. So I'll be prepared to take on that task.
I always trip out with people that sometimes pick on Mayweather because of that. Because he's the greatest defensive boxer I've ever seen, to be quite honest.
Smartest boxer as well.
Yeah, dude. And so some people think that they just want him to sit there in the middle of the ring and just slug it out. And that would be stupid.
Yeah.
Like my favorite boxer of all time is Sugar Ray Leonard. Okay. I'm old. I'm sorry. And Sugar one day got stupid and said, I'll stand in the middle of the ring con manos de piedra, Roberto Duran. No, bro. No. And you lost.
Yeah.
And that's where, remember what we just talked about, the anger, the ego gets in the way.
Yeah.
And then the very famous no mas fight happened after that, because then he figured out, bro, I can't fight Roberto Duran's fight. I got to fight my fight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
100%.
And in the ring, what do you do, Elijah, to make sure that boxer doesn't make you fight his fights?
You know, it's about controlling the pace, in my opinion. You got to control the pace, you know. Like, for instance, I know Armando's going to come in, throw a lot of punches. He's going to try to work me, push me back. But if I control the pace with my jab and make him fight my pace and then, you know, land the shots I want to land, then I'll be able to pick up the pace whenever I want. And yeah, that comes with experience. I believe this fight and the next fight will help me, you know, help me with it.
Yeah. It's funny how sports are in soccer. A lot of times pace can determine, you know, why one team is succeeding over another. In football, the pace that you determine, if you're going to be physical, if you're going to be fast that day, however it is that you are going to counter what you think they can't do, right?
Yeah.
And so when you're watching film, talk to me about how you break people down and trying to find what you can take advantage of.
You know, I see what they do wrong, and I know what I do real good. And if I could get better at what I do good already and master it and, you know, perfect it, so when the time comes in the ring, you know, I already know what they do bad. I just got to make it happen, you know, with what I'm already good at.
So when you're looking at your opponent Armando, I know you're not going to give me the strategy now, but when you look at him, you just said he's going to come out firing, right? What's going to be the key for you to make sure you live out that initial push?
You know, I gotta. I'll tell you. I'll tell you a couple things. I gotta land my jab, and he don't really move his head a lot. I've noticed he gets hit a lot, you know, and I don't get hit as much as he does. And I'm sure he can't take as many hard punches. Like I'm pretty sure I hit hard. You know, I don't want to make that. I'm pretty sure I hit hard, and
I know I don't want to find out.
Yeah,
that's all I know. You want to find out? No, right now, right? Okay, I don't want to find out.
You know, he's gonna have to move his head, and if you don't know how, then you might be in trouble.
Okay. So what happens with the title fight there, Canelo and Charlo? What do you think?
To be honest, I think Canelo should win because he has the more experience fighting at 168. But I'm not gonna count Charlo out. Charlo's also a lot of heart. He's skillful, and you know he has power. But you know, Canelo's been fighting the bigger guys longer, so he should have the experience.
And Charlo he's not used to taking the pounding at this level, at the next two weight classes.
Is exactly what I'm saying. But
yeah, man,
you gotta forget, and you cannot forget that Charlo is one of the best in the game right now, and he's here to prove it.
The only thing that I'm thinking of Charlo that he may have is that chip on his shoulders. One, this fight for him,
he can make history.
Exactly. And then two, remember his bro was supposed to be in this fight. So there's a little like, hey man, I'm in this ring also for my brother too. So there might be a little. Is there anything to that? You tell me. Is there anything to that?
I'm not sure. You know, I think he already has a loss. You know, he's not scared to lose. He already has a loss.
Right.
That's why he's moving to weight. You know, he's trying to make greatness happen, and you know, he's trying to become one of the best ever. You know, we'll see what happens, but I'm not going to count him out. I'm looking at this picture of him right now. You know, I'm not going to count him out. He's a dog.
Yeah,
you know, he's a lion.
No doubt about that. Hey, one more thing before I let you go. You're from Phoenix.
Phoenix, yes,
What about your sons, dude?
My sons?
Yeah, bro. They made some moves.
Yeah, they got rid of Aiton. I seen that.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, they got rid of Aiton. I'm not too concerned
Bradley
about it,
Beal. You guys you got 4 stars on that team.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. I'm a Suns fan. I like little games. You know, my son's real big basketball. He's only 4. He's like 3.5. But you know, he likes to watch basketball. So maybe this will be the year we actually go to some games and stuff like that. But we'll see what happens.
Oh man, it should be a lot of fun in Phoenix with all that stuff going on.
That's what I'm saying. AZ's on the rise, man. AZ, like you got the basketball blowing up. You know, the D-backs are in the playoffs, and now you got 2 pay-per-view. You know, 2 pay-per-view fighters on the fight tonight.
Yeah, man.
Saturday night.
Yeah. All we need now is the Coyotes have got to do something over there, bro. That's like what the hell's going on, right?
Yeah, I'm not a hockey fan, so I'm I do know that they could be better.
Yeah, they could be a lot better because all the other sports are doing good, man.
Yeah. The Cardinals were doing good. I'm not a Cardinal fan. I'm a Raider fan, but I can't talk too much about the Raiders, to be honest.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Right. No. I'm a Dolphins fan. Actually, well, this is from South Florida.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, it's a South Florida show, so we're a Miami.
You guys are tearing it up.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
I should have picked up Tua in fantasy. I messed up. I didn't think he was really that good because he gets injured, but I regret it.
I'm the only nutbag in town and maybe nationally that I've been on the Tua bandwagon from day one, and
I respect that.
Yeah,
I thought he was I thought he was real good out of college, and
it's just the injuries, bro.
Yeah, the injuries.
That's the only, when he's on the field, dude. I don't know how anybody doubts that he can't be a star. You watch it at Alabama, you see it now. You can't measure the heart of a winner, dude.
Yeah, 100%.
And that's what you were just talking about.
Yep.
With Charlo.
Yeah.
That while we all respect the shit out of Canelo and we know he's a badass, this dude can give him.
You give him problems.
Yeah, man.
They proved Canelo's beatable.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, and that's why to me you don't measure a man's heart, but when he shows you, and why are you doubting? Because that dude came off the bench and won a national championship.
Yeah.
You got to have ice in your veins to do shit like that, dude. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so kind of the ice that you're going to show stepping into the ring, man. All right?
Appreciate it.
Thank you, my brother.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for taking some time. Appreciate you. That's Elijah Garcia. Let's take a quick break. Give us 2 minutes. We're coming to you live from the MGM Grand here in Las Vegas. Up.
Oh, I think I know what this is. Houston, we have a package. Hello?
No matter where you are, the Sloman Shield Home Security System guards your home. With next-gen perimeter protection, 24/7 monitoring, and interior motion sensing. And right now, get a free Sloman Shield security system and doorbell camera, all professionally installed, for free.
Shield your world, the Sloman Shield.
When you move, you need a reliable company led by passionate folks eager to assist its customers during a transitional process that needs to be smooth. Call Essential Moving Experts at 844-368-5750 for all your local and long-distance moving needs. You can rely on Essential Moving Experts. Mention the Big O Radio Show and get $150 off. Family owned and operated. They offer free 30-day storage, full service moving, fully licensed, bonded, and insured. Moving was never so easy. EssentialMovingExperts.com.
For over 16 years, EJDConstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDConstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDConstruction.com.
Statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc., ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
To the MGM Grand here in Las Vegas, baby. And don't forget, Baptist Health is the official sports medicine provider for the Miami Heat, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, FIU, FAU, Orange Bowl, Miami-Dade County Public Schools, Miami Open Tennis, and Miami Marathon, folks. And, of course, when it comes to Baptist Health, they've been a big part of our lives, my heart. I've got 5 stents from there. My daughter was born there. When my wife broke her jaw, Baptist Health of South Florida. I recently had my colonoscopy there, man. Baptist Health of South Florida, and they've got so many locations also throughout South Florida. They opened up a new location in West Kendall by my house, and there's actually another location in West Kendall off of Bird Road too, man. So if you have an injury that's keeping you doing from what you love, baby, take charge of your health and get back into the game with the help of the all-pro staff at Baptist Health Orthopedic Care. All right, we are back here at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas. Jesus Ramos Jr. I'm a junior too. Orlando Alzuaray Jr. Speaking to another junior. How'd you handle the junior thing when you were young? Did it bother you at any time?
No, it didn't bother me. You know, I have a good relationship with my dad. He's my coach as well. So I always enjoyed being a junior. You know, I admire my dad a lot, and I thankfully have a good relationship with him.
The good thing for us juniors is, right? The bad thing would be is if like our dads are like criminals or like they owe the IRS thousands, and then like, hey, you, no, it's not me, bro. I'm junior, not C.
Then I would understand that part. Yeah,
that might be a little bit of a problem there with the junior thing, man. So how you feeling for the fight? I saw you there on the stage.
I'm excited, man. I'm ready to go. You know, we had a strong training camp, 8-week training camp, good preparation. The hard part's done, you know. So now it's just enjoy the moment, enjoy all of this, everything that comes with it, and just be ready for Saturday night.
What do you love about being in the ring?
I love I just love the challenge. I love knowing that the guy in there is trying to beat me up the same way I'm trying to beat him up. So I have to be better in every aspect. I have to be smarter, I have to be sharper, and I like that. I'm competitive, you know. So I love that. I like to compete.
We all deal with fear in life.
Yeah.
Okay? Doesn't matter what it is, dude. Fear of meeting our bills at the end of the month.
Yeah.
Fear of the wife's going to rip my ass if I don't take out the garbage. You know, all different levels of fear, right?
Yeah.
And then if you got to get into a fight, that's also fear, right? And whether you're going to take the stage for a play or you're going to be a singer or you're going to be a boxer, right? How do you deal? Because there's got to be a level of fear always when you're doing what you're doing, right? We know you're tough, obviously, because you do the things that we don't do. We can't step in the ring and do that and take the beating. So how do you compartmentalize the fear with the job that you have to overcome?
You know what, man? That's a good question. It's there is a lot of obviously fear, a lot of nervous energy and all of that. But I mean, when I'm in the locker room, I like to sit back and think about everything that I did. And that's why it's important for me to work hard. It's important for me to give everything, you know, every day in the gym. And that's why I do work out, you know, so hard every day, Monday through Sunday. I don't take a day off because when it comes down to it, seconds before the fight, that's where I can check off the boxes. And I'm sitting down and I'm saying, what did I do that this guy, you know, what did he do that maybe I didn't do, or did I miss anything? And right there, I can tell myself, no, I didn't. You know, I'm good. I'm ready for this. This is my moment. You did everything you could, so now it's just time to compete. And that's why hard work for me is the main thing. It's the main thing in my camp.
It's, you know, make a comparison for anybody that's out there. It's a lot like, it sounds like, you tell me, it sounds like the human being that prepared for a test. Yeah. And when they walk in, they sit down, they go, I'm ready for this, dude. I've been studying for like 6-8 months. Then here comes the other person that wanted to crunch everything in 2 or 3 days before the test because they kept letting it drag. And then all of a sudden say, don't worry about it. I'll study for 3 straight days. And when they walk in there, they're kind of questioning themselves. They're a little nervous. Oh, man, I should have studied more. I'm not sure. It kind of feels that way, right?
Yeah. That's a good comparison. It is that way, you know, because I mean, everything takes time. And like we like to follow a game plan. You know, we have game plan, we have schedules, everything is down to it. Our whole training camp is set, you know, to a whole schedule, to a T, and it's followed every day. It's routine, and you know, we made sure everything went right, man. And we didn't miss anything, so that's why I feel so good right now. You know, I'm not killing myself to make the weight. I'm not low on energy. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling strong, and that's because of everything that we did right.
When you look at your opponent, right, and you're trying to get an edge, right? Talk to us a little bit about your preparation for your opponent from one to another. How does that all start and end?
Yeah, that's I mean, it's hard, you know, preparing for an opponent. You never know how he's gonna show up Saturday, the fight night. So you never know what you gotta prepare for, but you get an idea of his style. You get an idea of what sets him off, what what he does good, what he does bad, little things like that, and then you use it to your advantage. You know, there's things that he does well, so we're gonna avoid situations that he does well, and the things that he does bad or the things that'll set him off his game plan, we're gonna try to bring more of. That way we can use it in our favor. You know, just do things in our favor.
Jesus Ramos joining us, and I'm glad you led me to that because that's what I wanted to talk about. When you know something sets somebody off, talk to me a little bit about that. How does that give you an edge when you want to try to work that?
It gives a huge edge, man, because you're just able to throw them off the game plan. You know, everybody's got a plan. Everybody, you know, we all walk in there with a plan, but all it takes is a jab. Yeah.
Until you get punched in the mouth, the Mike Tyson quote.
all it takes is one punch, or all it takes is maybe you hurt the guy. You know, he's stunned, and now what's he gonna do? Is he gonna go back to the game plan, or is he just gonna go back to the way he's always trained, the way he's always fought? So, you know, just little things like that, it gives a huge advantage, and you got to make sure that nobody sets you off as well. You know, you can't fight with emotions. For me, that's the way I go in. You know, if I get hit, instead of getting mad, instead of losing my head, I just reset, go back. That way, I don't give them that advantage. You know, more than anything.
Tell me about Erickson Lubin. What do you see in him? What do you got to do in order to win that fight?
He's a warrior, man. He's got the will to win always. We've seen in his previous fights, you know, he's been battered, beaten down, and he still came back and dropped his opponent. So he's a warrior. Like I said, we're gonna take it round by round. We're gonna take that spirit, that will to win round by round. We're gonna take it away from him, and then we're gonna if we can get him out of there, we're gonna get him out of there.
We'll wrap it up with this. If you obviously walk into the ring and you've got to create some kind of anger, if there isn't any kind of anger between you and the person, because you're fighting, right? But you got to walk that fine line of you want to attack the guy, but you also want to pick him apart, right?
Yeah.
And so at what point do you know when you have to take advantage of that?
You feel it. You feel at first, it's how he's obviously in there. He's in the fight. He's answering everything I'm throwing. He's in there, you know, we're going tick for tack. But there comes a point where you feel his body language changing. You feel his punches changing. They don't got that much power to them. Or there may be desperate punches. It's just different things you got to look for. But you do feel it. I don't know how to explain it to you. You got to be in there, but I can feel it. You know, sometimes it's even just if I can push you around easy, that's it. You know, if the whole fight you pushing back, and then there comes a moment where I can just push you back easy, and you're giving. That's it. You know, I know you're broken, and I can start stepping it up. So just little things we look for in there as fighters.
And folks, you can watch this match. Obviously, Charlo and Canelo is the lead one, and then it's Barrios and Ugas, the Cuban kid, and then Erickson Lubin taking on this gentleman right here, Jesus Ramos Jr. So it's the third to last fight of the evening. So make sure you check it out. It's going to be a hell of a fight. Jesus, muchas gracias.
Thank you. Thank you for your time. I appreciate you guys.
My brother.
Thank you.
All right, give us 2 minutes. Back with more right here from the MGM Grand and hour number 2 right here on the Big O Radio Show.
We interrupt this program to bring you a special report.
Miles an hour, that's a Category 4 hurricane. 3 deaths are reported in Florida after more than 24 were killed in the Caribbean. This
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
The viewpoints, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc., ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
Rock and roll. We're back here at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas. Dolphins and Bills this weekend. Remember, we're going to have our Dolphins pre- and post-game show from Tommy Rockers in Las Vegas. And it is a Dolphins bar. It's right on Dean Martin. So if you're in town, come on by, join us. It'll start off at 11 a.m. in Eastern time, obviously 8 a.m. here in the West Coast. Let's get to our 3A Graphics sports calendar, man. We love our friends, Alan Blanco, and the great people at 3A Graphics in Hialeah. So if your business, your corporation, your club, your fantasy league, whatever, you're looking for custom printing and embroidery, whether it's uniforms, whatever it is that you're looking for, you're going to, maybe the whole office is going to be part of a marathon and you want to print a bunch of T-shirts, they can do it for you. They're custom printing and embroidery at 3A Graphics, 980 West 22nd Street in Hialeah. Yesterday, the Marlins split a doubleheader. They lost 11-2 and they won 4-2. Right now, they hold the third playoff spot ahead of Chicago because they own the tiebreaker. Even though they're tied, they own the tiebreaker at 4:10, which is going on right now, right? In 4 minutes it starts, right? It's 1:06. So at 4:10, Jesus Luzardo taking on David Peterson for the Mutts. So we'll see. They have clinched a winning record with their 82nd win yesterday. They're 82-76. The Cubs, by the way, will be at the Braves. And then Friday, Marlins are at the Pirates and the Cubs are at the Brewers. So Miami has the easier weekend than the Cubs. All right. Yesterday, unfortunately, in U.S. Open Cup play, Houston lost to Inter Miami 2-1. Joseph Martinez picked up a goal. What? I'm sorry. Houston beat Miami. Or I said, no, Houston beat Miami 2-1. I'm sorry. Joseph Martinez did get a goal in the 92nd minute. So they lose the Open Cup final to Houston. No Messi, no Alba. That was a problem, unfortunately. Saturday, by the way, it doesn't end. I mean, they have no rest, dude, no legs. Saturday, 4:30 against NYCFC. We'll see if it doesn't look like Messi's going to play. I mean, it looks like he's injured, bro. He's injured. And then tonight we've got the Lions and the Packers. And the Lions, it's either 1.5 or 2. Either way, I'm laying it. The Lions, I think, will easily win by a field goal here. I think they'll win by a touchdown, actually. I think they're the better team right now. So that is your 3A Graphics sports calendar. And call my friends. They will definitely take care of you. Alan Blanco and company. They know how to get it done. 786-618-1443. That's 786-618-1443 for 3A Graphics sports calendar. All right. Thank you all out there as always. Let's see. What else do we have? Big O hit the burning 75 slots for me. I hit the mini jackpot there in 2018 New Year's. I never play slots, bro. I'm not a slots guy. So, unfortunately, can't do it. I'm a craps and blackjack guy. That's what I like doing. Love blackjack and craps is the other game that I really enjoy doing. Big O show and Dolphins Bills week. It's a beautiful thing, baby. Yes, sir, Jim. It is a beautiful thing. Don't forget, you can make a donation through Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. We are here in Las Vegas for the Canelo Charlo fight, which will be on Saturday night. Friday night, by the way, I got a ticket. I am going to go see U2 at the Sphere, opening up the Sphere. I'm looking forward to that, dude. That's going to be a lot of fun. I wonder if that will end up becoming one of the see, they're serving lunch, bro. Did you get some lunch? You should get some lunch. I would get some lunch if I was you. I wonder where that U2 concert's going to rank. You know, that's the question. Will a concert in the Sphere crack my top 10? You say number 2? What? That I've attended. Yes. All right. Yeah. Yeah, but that's going to be a lot of fun, man. I can't wait to see the concert there. And you know, that Sphere, obviously U2's opening it up, but other bands are going to go there. And I can't wait to like see Iron Maiden or Metallica or something like that inside that Sphere. That's going to be pretty freaking awesome, I got to say. But it's going to be actually very, very cool. Miami Sports Fanatic says, welcome to Nevada, Big O. I wish you guys could make it out to Reno sometime. I hope you guys have a great time and enjoy Vegas. Thank you, sir. No plans for Reno on this trip, but I appreciate it. Listen, I remember I've been to Reno, and when you're driving in, there's that horseshoe, right? And it says Reno, the biggest little city, or something like that. I think they still have that. I did that years ago, man. God, it was a long, long time ago. What else do we have here? Big O hit. LA fins up, says Rich Flair. Okay. Let's see. What's that? I don't know. That Ric Flair to Rich and Ric Flair. Maybe he's just a wrestling fan. That's probably what it is. Big O just logged on. What's the deal with the Heat not getting Lillard? Was it a retarded GM from the Blazers being hard-headed? He was definitely hard-headed, but it's not about Joe Cronin. It's all about Damian Lillard. You may want to rewind and go to the beginning because I kind of lay into it already. And then we also had Ira Winderman right after, and he talked about it. So, kind of you get a lot right there on the Dame Lillard situation the first half hour of the show. There's a ton on Dame Lillard. All right. So you can get that there. What else do we have going on? We got the undefeated Dolphins taking on the Bills. The Eagles taking on Washington. Phillies favored by 8. Plus 310 for Washington, minus 395 for Philadelphia. Niners are at the Cards. Niners are minus 14. Cards are plus 625 on the money line. The Niners are minus 950 on the money line, dude. Those are the 3 undefeated teams left in the NFL. I think it's pretty amazing that you're 4 weeks, you're about to play the 4th week, and there's only 3 undefeated teams left in the league, dude. I think that is crazy, dude. That's the situation we're in. Wow. It's impressive, gotta say. What else do we have going on? Did you see Robert Saleh? Oh, man, Robert Saleh. So remember I told you the Trevor Siemian move and what that means, and that the shelf life for Zach Wilson all of a sudden now is down to a week or 2? And I truly believe that. And if you listen to Saleh, okay, he finally came out and said, Zach has to play better, and he knows, and, all that good stuff. But the Trevor Siemian thing, and as I told you, if he doesn't play well, he's got this week and next week, worst case scenario. He'll get pulled, and they're going to go out and get that veteran, because you're also not going to win with Trevor Siemian. So the Trevor Siemian thing is going to be the stopgap that you use now to kind of survive while you go get the veteran. That's what's going to happen, dude. I know it. I see it. I've been at this long enough. And when I saw Saleh come out and start to, make those kind of declarations, you can tell it's exactly what I told you, that this thing's coming to a head, because Saleh's going to lose the entire locker room. And he cannot lose that defense. He can't. That's the heart and soul of that Jets team, is that defense right now. It's loaded. And you cannot all of a sudden make those guys go out there and bust their asses for 4 quarters and give them an offense that isn't supporting them. So that's why Saleh is doing what he's doing. And now he's kind of, sending the message. But in the end, the change is coming. Zach Wilson has shown 0 improvement from, last year. Nothing. From what we've watched the last couple of years, this kid has not improved. He's constantly making the same mistakes. And the real problem was too many people fell in love with a workout. You got to stop with a workout, bro. Watch the football games. That's what should tell you whether he's a player or not. Some of you out there were worried about Tua's size or his arm or something like that, and you didn't bother to just look at, is he a player or not? And he's a player. So what are we doing? Okay, hold on. Let's do something. Give me a minute here. Let's take a quick break here. We'll be back right now on the Big O Radio Show, live from MGM Grand in Las Vegas.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
views expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of fantasyxs.com. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
Are back, baby. Brian Kuster is kind enough to join us now. A little Showtime boxing, which of course is going to be on pay-per-view.
Mm-hmm.
And I always, Brian, I've done this about 20 times over the years, and the buzz is always the same.
Yeah.
Vegas and the buzz and boxing, and it's always a lot of fun, dude. And it's always fun making the walk here because then you've got the fans. You know how it is tomorrow for the weigh-in. This is Sean's first time to this craziness. And so, it gets out of control, but that's the fun part about it.
I will say this. I tell people all the time, you have not lived until you come to Las Vegas.
Right.
And see a world championship fight in Vegas. It's just different.
It's different.
The atmosphere is different. And Sean, you will see at the weigh-in tomorrow. It's one of the reasons why we're having it outside of T-Mobile Arena. The thousands of fans that will come to see two guys in their underwear take their shirt off and stand in front of each other is amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, when we did Tank and Ryan, we had to do it outside because we knew the crowd was going to be big. Canelo transcends the sport.
Yeah.
So you get the casual fan, the hardcore fan, the Mexican fan. You get everybody coming to see Canelo, and it's going to be a scene. You're going to enjoy it.
Yeah, and the fun part, and where I think not just Showtime, but everybody has taken advantage of it over the last, 15, 20 years, that the weigh-in was kind of just a passing by type of thing. Now
it's an event.
Now it's an event.
Now it's an event.
Now you guys have done a marvelous job of doing the pre-games, the pre weigh-in stuff and all that, the shows, and then the post weigh-in stuff, because we have so much material that develops out of these things.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And we all love the drama and we love all that kind of stuff. So it's really fun, man.
Yeah, from the press conference to the all access, and then all of a sudden there's just something different when two guys take their shirt off and then they got to stand right in front of each other for the last time. Okay, now the fight's real. Yeah. And they're flexing, and the testosterone gets a little heated, and you want to see a little pushing, shoving. It's great. I love it. There's nothing better.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. We on the fight card. Well, as you know, we're in Miami Station. We're talking about the Damian Lillard situation. Yeah. We got Ugas there, which
Ugas.
We got a big Cuban community down in Miami, and one of our sponsors is Hialeah Park, and we always have boxing matches like every quarter of the year. We have like a whole set of and usually have a whole bunch of Cuban kids that are in the boxing. What do you think about your Dennis?
I love him. Listen, I'm biased. I've loved your Dennis Ugas for a long time. When I used to call fights against prospects, and this was a good 7-8 years ago, your Dennis Ugas would take fights on 1 day, 2 days notice, fly in and would beat the top prospect that the PBC was putting up against him. And that's when they ended up saying, I think we got to sign this guy because he was knocking off all their top prospects at welterweight. And so we used to see each other in the hotel lobby working out because he had just flown in on a day's notice and was going to fight that night, and was in the hotel lobby working out. I'd be in there working out, and he used to always say, Brian, I'm going to win tonight. And he would go out and win. And so I love your Dennis Ugas because now he's become a world champion. Now he's former world champion, obviously, but he retired Manny Pacquiao. He's gone from the bottom to the top of the sport. And let's be honest, he's still there. And as he talks about, Saturday is his opportunity to show I'm still there. A lot of people saw what happened against Errol Spence.
Right.
Errol Spence is a different
animal.
animal.
But come on, man. Errol Spence is Errol Spence.
Yeah,
come on,
exactly.
Man. He's a Hall of Fame boxer.
Absolutely. So, your Dennis wants to show, I'm still elite and I'm still there. And I'm going to show you that on Saturday night. I can't wait to see him and Mario Barrios.
Barrios is a fighter, too.
Nice fighter, man. Barrios has been a great fighter. He was a champion, obviously, there at 130, and now obviously he's campaigning at 147. This is a strong guy, and under the tutelage of Bob Santos likes an aggressive fighter, so he's going to come after you, Dennis Ugas, early because he wants to see, does this guy still have enough in the tank?
Right.
Did Errol Spence damage him too much from the eye when he broke his orbital bone? Yo, is he still an elite guy? I'm going to test him. So that's why that fight will be all action.
You know, I know that sometimes it's not necessarily the case, and then we do a job of trying to sell the undercard, and we say, hey, this is a great undercard. Sometimes it isn't. This is
good.
This is a great undercard.
Listen, folks who are listening.
Like I don't want to. I know that everybody always sells the undercard, and sometimes it doesn't live up to it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because sometimes we're just promoting to promote, but this is not promoting to promote. Actually,
I'll say this: on paper, this is probably one of the best assembled undercards for a pay-per-view event. Why? Because it is filled with former champions, world title challengers, emerging young talent. Every last fighter is ranked in the top 10. Every last fighter. So this is the first 2 fights at middleweight. Elijah Garcia, Armando Resendiz, ranked in the top 10. And if you haven't seen Elijah Garcia, we had him on there.
He was just on with us.
Milcar Vidal. When he went in there, had a busted nose and knocked the snot out of Emil Vega. I was like, whoa, this kid. The kid's only 20. Talked about he wants to be a champion at 21. You don't want to miss that fight. That fight's going to be great. Then you get to your Dennis Ugas and Mario Barrios, 2 former world champions. Both got a lot to prove. Hey, Barrios took that loss to Keith Thurman. And so he's like, look, I want to show people that was a fluke. I belong at 147. And then the co-main, when you have Erickson Lubin and Jesus Ramos, Ramos is unbeaten.
We just had him on.
Lubin's fought just about everybody at 154. That is going to be one hell of a fight.
He's the Orlando kid, right?
Exactly. And Lubin is 27, Ramos 22. It's almost a flip of when Lubin fought Jermell Charlo.
That's right.
Lubin was 22. Charlo was 26. And we all kept asking Lubin then, are you biting off more than you can chew? Is it too early? He's like, no, I'm ready to take him out. And what happened? Charlo dusted him in basically 2 rounds. And so that's where Lubin keeps talking about, like, yo, this kid's just 22. I'm going to dust this kid. Well, we'll see, because Ramos is giving a lot of guys the business. Yeah. And that's going to be one heck of a co-man.
Yeah, it's this is going to be and Brian Kuster, by the way, joining us from Showtime Boxing host. And I'm telling you, it's out of control.
Yeah.
You really want to see the undercard here, because obviously everybody's talking about Charlo and Canelo and all of that. Let's get into Charlo and Canelo.
Yeah.
And obviously Charlo moving up a couple of weight classes. The fact that he's also taking over for his brother.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I wonder if there's a little emotion, extra emotion when he steps into the ring, because his brother's going through some tough stuff. And he's got to, you know, I'm not only fighting for myself, because this could be the exclamation point of my career, but I'm also doing it for my bro.
You know, it's interesting because I give you a word on that. When Charlo called me a long time ago, months ago, we were talking, and he said, you know, I'm going to fight Canelo. I said, what do you mean? You got Tim Tszyu fight coming up here. And he said, are you fighting Canelo? And I said, you mean your brother? And he said, no, it's going to be me. Don't tell anybody, but I'm telling you. And I said, okay. And he goes, you got promise, don't say anything. And then all of a sudden, the fight was announced, and initially it was announced that Jamal, if you remember, people kind of jumped the gun. And they said Jamal's going to fight. And it wasn't, because obviously, as you pointed out, Jamal's going through some personal things in his life. He hasn't fought in well over 2 years. Yeah. And Mel knew that. And so originally, they wanted Errol to have this fight. But Errol basically told the PBC and Al Heyman, no, I'm not fighting. I'm not fighting and moving up until I fight Bud Crawford. I got to have that fight before I move up. And so that's when they were like, okay, we got to get Charlo. But Maul was in no condition, and that's when it was Mel was the guy. And he told me that it was happening. I was like, really? And he said, no, I'm going to do it.
That would have been completely unfair for the brother to step in.
Oh, my God. It would have been a mess.
Yeah,
man. It would have been a mess. Canelo would have dusted Maul quickly.
Yeah.
Quickly.
Yeah.
Quickly. But then you look at it. Hey, look, Mel, you look at his resume, it's a lot better than Jamal. I mean, now, you're going to say, duh, because Mel's an undisputed champion at 154. Right. But you look at the names he's fought. Harrison. I mean, you talk about all of these guys that he has fought. He's fought champions. Maul has not. He is not. Their resumes are completely different. And Jermell has turned himself into a knockout artist lately. Yeah. And so the key for him is He's got a box though. You got to. He's almost 6 feet. Use that length, kind of like what Bivol did to Canelo.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep him at an arm's length, and I'm going to every time he tries to get in on me, he's going to eat a jab and a straight right hand and move. It may not be pretty, but it's a recipe to success. And if he is dedicated enough and focused enough to do that every round, he can win this fight.
Yeah. I know Canelo's going to press him.
Going to press him.
And he's going to try to bring the hammer.
Yes.
And that's where we're going to find out if he can handle the punishment.
Yes.
Because
of a 168 pounder.
Right. And a really powerful
guy.
Right. And the problem is if he had 3, 4, 5 fights at this weight before he got to this fight, then maybe we have a better feel and he would have a better feel for it because now he's kind of used to that. It's funny because part of boxing is getting used to getting pounded.
Yes, absolutely. You listen, activity means something.
Yeah.
You can say what you want about Canelo. That people say, oh, maybe he's slipping, he's this and that. He hasn't looked good in it. You're right. And he said, hey, look, for the first time, my wrist feels great. I'm going to show you guys that I'm the pound for pound king of boxing and the best fighter on the planet on Saturday night. Now, if you're Charlo on the opposite thing, you probably would have liked to fight a guy that was 168 and get your feet wet first.
Yes.
But you know what? I credit a guy who says, I'm going to dare to be great. And you know what? I'm naturally a bigger guy. When I walk around and I'm not melting my body down to 154, I can do 168. And you know what? I got a big punch too. I give a lot of credit to guys because they see Tank and Ryan fought, Bud and Errol fought. Why not dare to be great and fight the best? And that's what we got here, and I love it. I love guys who want to dare and forget about my record. I'm all about legacy, and that's what this sport is about.
And this is a legacy fight for Charlo.
Absolutely.
While Alvarez, it's kind of a just prove that I'm still the guy type of thing.
Yes.
But this is the fight that makes Charlo's entire career.
Absolutely. I mean, it is. You talk about a Q rating, it skyrockets after this. If you can be the guy to beat Canelo, look, Canelo in all of these rounds has never even been down. It's amazing.
Yeah.
All the guys he's fought, he's beaten 18 world champions. He's never tasted the canvas, not once. And if you're Charlo, if you can get a win, hell, if you can knock him down, wow, that's something.
Yeah, that would be absolutely amazing. Who has more motivation right now? One that's looking for the fight of his life, or two that's looking to prove that he's still the guy?
I think they both. I think they both because of what you just said. That really fuels Canelo, and he heard Charlo and talking about this guy can't box me. He's not even on my level when it comes to boxing. And that Canelo talked about that at the press conference yesterday. Like, oh, he talked about my boxing skills. He's gonna find out about my boxing skills on Saturday night. And so Canelo needs those type of things to motivate him. And as you pointed out too, he's heard everybody talk about that he's been slipping, and he's going to show everybody, no, my wrist was hurt. But I'm going to show y'all that I'm still pound for pound the best fighter walking the planet. No slight to Bud Crawford, Inoue, all of those guys. Yeah. I'm the guy of the face of boxing. We'll see. They both got a lot of motivation for this one.
God, that Crawford win the other was it a month ago, 2 months ago already?
Yeah, I know.
God, what a fight! Dude.
I know.
Jesus,
what a performance!
I didn't expect. I know. I didn't expect that kind of domination.
I think, my humble opinion, I think Errol Spence spent one fight too many at 147. He's a big guy, and I think if they do it again, I think that at 154 it'd probably be a different fight where he doesn't have to boil his body down too much anymore.
Brian, it's going to be absolutely awesome. You're going to come back here tonight to watch the Lions?
Absolutely.
I'm going with the Lions. I'm going to lay the 2 points.
Listen, man. I like the Lions, what they've done. I like what Jared Goff has done with that team.
And how do you not root for Lions fans? Those poor people have been suffering. Jesus Christ.
Bless Detroit.
I'm a Dolphins fan, and I've been suffering for a while, but nothing like Lions fans.
You're right about that. And
now I finally got my Tua, and my boys are
keep that man healthy. Let me tell you something.
Sky's the limit.
That's going to be a great game with Buffalo.
Yeah.
We're going to find out who's real in this division.
Yeah, I think Miami's going to win. I think Miami's ready to take over that division.
I like it.
It's going to be fun, man.
I like it.
And Tua's the kind of guy you want to have success.
Great kid.
Because he's great for everyone.
Yes.
For the sport, for young people. He's just, you want good human beings to be representatives of these kind of situations.
Josh Allen got a lot to prove. Talking about got motivation, a lot to prove.
Yeah.
You take a loss to Miami, and you lost earlier to the Jets when
TV.
Aaron Rodgers went down.
Yeah.
You lost to Zach Wilson. They trying to look. New York is trying to throw Zach Wilson out already. Joe Namath is already. When Joe Namath said, "Look, I'm
quit
done
on
with
him.
you."
I've seen enough.
You're done.
I think we've all seen enough. I mean,
look, my man Joe Namath said he is struggling.
Yes, struggling. Yes. Brian, great stuff, man.
All right.
Enjoy the fights, man.
Thank you
for taking some time.
Absolutely.
Appreciate you. Brian Kuster, baby, Showtime boxing host. 1 minute, and we will talk to Marcel Louis-Jacques. Let's talk a little Dolphins next.
Welton Rayome has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They're committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. At Welton Rayome, they don't get paid unless you win. Property damage claims to your home, business, or condo as a result of a hurricane. Welton Rayome can help. Water, mold, fire, smoke damage, Welton Rayome can help. Call 954-966-4646.
All rise, football fans, as the Welton Rayome Miami Dolphins report with Marcel Louis-Jacques is in session.
Welton Rayome has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They are committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. Here's Miami Dolphins insider Marcel Louis-Jacques.
There we are, locked and loaded and ready to go. We're in a great mood. We're in Vegas. We're at the MGM Grand here, getting ready for the Canelo-Charlo fight on Saturday. A little U2 action on Friday at the Sphere. And now it's Marcel Louis-Jacques. How you feeling, baby? You feeling good?
Great, man. Just coming back from Chica in Miami. Chica, the restaurant, took my mom out there for her birthday, and it was good, man. It was good food. I think it's a Little Haiti, Little River, one of that, that area,
right?
Of that area just north of Edgewater in the Design District.
Mm-hmm.
But sitting in that Miami traffic reminded me why we don't leave Broward anymore.
Right? Yeah. No, Miami traffic can be pretty ugly at times, man. I'm with you there. No doubt about that, man. All right, so let's get to a little Dolphins talk, baby, as they get ready. Injury-wise, what are we talking about this week? What do you think?
Well, the big news that everybody's waiting for, Jalen Waddle has cleared concussion protocol. He is on path to play Sunday. That's big. I know they just scored 70 points with 700 yards without him, but it's a guy that they really want back on the field, obviously. Upgrades to limited participants for Teron Armstead, who I imagine was just getting a vet rest day on Wednesday. Like, it's not ever something that we're going to panic about, is Teron Armstead, or not something we're ever going to make a big deal about, is Teron Armstead not practicing on a Wednesday. He's fine. Connor Williams upgraded to limited with that groin injury that knocked him out on Sunday. But the one name to watch here, Jalen Phillips, back-to-back DNPs with the oblique strain. It knocked him out of the game on Sunday. He tried to come back. He left left again early. This is it's a little uncharacteristic because this is the guy, he was Iron Man the first 2 years. Didn't miss a game, didn't miss many snaps, always on the field. Already missed in week 2 with that back injury, and then he is not looking good for Sunday's game. We'll get a better picture of where he's at tomorrow's practice if he can get one more walkthrough in either Friday or Saturday before they head up to Buffalo. But they're going to need him, man. You need all hands on deck when you're playing a guy like Josh Allen.
Well, but the good thing, one of the things that you like about what the Dolphins are doing lately is they're not doing stupid things with their injured guys. They're actually being very cautious, and they take that precautionary approach to it all, and that's what you got to do. And right now, the werewolf is looking pretty good, helping out on the edge. So that's the good thing, that Alex Van Ginkel's elevation and opportunities. You're not missing Jalen Phillips nearly as much as you think you would be, because Van Ginkel's really helping you out. Hell, Agba came in last week and helped out. So the depth at that position has also come in clutch, which gives you the same luxury you had with Teron Armstead, which you didn't have last year. Hey, Teron, we're going to practice you this week. You're not going to play. Want to see how your body responds. And then next week, Kendall Lamb's doing a good job for you right now. We don't need to rush you back, those kind of things. You don't need to rush Jalen Phillips back. Good stuff right now.
Not functional depth, man. That was critical for the Dolphins this past offseason. If you look at the names that they added, like they didn't add a whole lot of splashy starters. David Long obviously is a starter. Jalen Ramsey was a trade, not a free agent signing. But the rest of the guys they added, it was about building depth. It was about building depth. As they saw last year, if your guys behind your starters can't keep the ship afloat when people have to miss time, then everything that you have built for, everything that you worked for, is going to go kind of by the wayside. It's going to be ruined. So, that is what their key focus was this offseason. And then, of course, bringing Andrew Van Ginkel back. We heard what Vic Fangio said, a week or so ago, that he actually called Van Ginkel and said, dude, you're a free agent now. We need you back. I want you back. They tried that experiment, moving him inside. I'm sure he would be a fine inside linebacker, but this man is still a dynamite edge rusher, especially in rotation, and he comes in big whenever he's called upon, which he might be come Sunday. But I like what you said about Emmanuel Ogbah, another big game for him. That's a guy who needed it, Obviously, injury shortened season last year, ineffective even when he was healthy. Playing in a new scheme now, it was a big deal for him. Good to see him get that interception as well. That was, I think, the moment last week where we knew, oh my God, this might get really ugly. This might get historically ugly. This isn't just a beatdown. When he got that little interception at the end of the third quarter, it's like, oh my God, they're about to score again. It was one of those where even objectively you look at it and you can't help but laugh, because it's like the absurdity of it. You just know you've never seen anything like that before. You might never see one again. I mean, last 70-point game was what, 1966?
Yeah, year I was born. Yes, it was a long time ago. I've been saying the last couple days, I think the Dolphins will win, but the key to their victory, to me, is all about stopping the Bills' run. And what you want to do is not just stop, the running backs. I'm talking about stopping Josh Allen from killing you with his legs. Force Josh Allen to beat you with his arm, because that's where he's going to make a mistake. If you allow him to get his legs in the damn game, he becomes nearly unstoppable, because it doesn't force him to make all the plays with his arm, because he's making half of the plays with his legs. That makes the game easier for him. You need, as a defense, make the game harder for Josh Allen. Force him to beat you with his arm on a consistent basis. Agree or disagree?
Yeah, I don't disagree there. Obviously, asking Josh Allen to throw the ball is also dangerous in its own right.
Of course.
That's not something that you're comfortable doing, but I think, at least it's a more traditional way of winning a game. You hate to see him just pick up chunk gain after chunk gain, third down after third down after third with his legs. It wears on you. It wears on you a little bit as a defense. You want to keep him scrambling around. You want to make him try to extend plays. That's when he gets a little loose with the ball, with his ball handling. Obviously it's not tucked against his body if he's looking to throw. That's when he might force something that may or may not be there. Those moments there. But the key, I think, to beating the Bills, man, you're right in a sense, in that it does have to do with the ground game, but it's on the other side of the ball. For Miami, it's establishing the run.
Oh yeah.
Control the clock. You know who's 32nd right now in average yards allowed per carry?
Oh,
the Buffalo Bills. You know who
Hey,
leads the NFL in yards per carry?
last year they were punishing the Bills on the ground and they didn't stay with it. This year, I think it's going to be different. They're running the ball a lot more. They're up to like, what is it, 31 average, I think, per game. They were like at 22 last year. So they've already upped that number, and they're successful at running the ball. That first game, I'm convinced that they didn't plan on running in that game. They wanted to send a message about all that shit, but they can run now, Marcel. So I'm kind of expecting a dual attack from Miami. I'm expecting them to attack them in the air, but I'm also expecting them to push them around a little bit and have some success on the ground.
That's where it's got to start. Oh, that's where it's got to start. Raheem Mostert, 136 yards on 17 carries. Last year, obviously did not play in the wild card game. That Jeff Wilson, Savon Ahmed tandem just doesn't hit quite the same as I think the Raheem Mostert, Devon Achane is going to hit, here moving forward. But and what makes it so critical, defenses can't overplay the pass. You can't just drop 7 back in coverage and assume that the Dolphins aren't going to run the ball. And then on the other side, if they're averaging 5-6 yards a carry, you also can't stack the box. You can't put 8 in the box because of who Miami still has on the outside. So it becomes a basically impossible defense or impossible offense to defend. And that's why the run game was such a stress this offseason and early on this season. So it's really that's a matchup they're going to have to exploit, particularly since the Bills are pretty good at taking away the middle of the field, and that is Miami's favorite area of the field to attack right now.
Yeah, they definitely are. And listen, when you talk about their corners, talk to me about the challenge of the Buffalo corners against Miami's receivers, because I think that's another thing that Miami's going to be able to take advantage of here. Besides running the ball, I think receivers are going to have a big game today, big game on Sunday.
So the problem is they only have one corner. Christian Benford, I think 5th round pick out of Villanova last year. Like, they have gotten more than expected out of him, but don't get it twisted. They wanted that second corner to be Kyer Elam, or maybe even Dane Jackson, the 7th rounder they grabbed in 2021, but 2020. But they still do have Tre'Davious White. He doesn't typically follow receivers. They usually play more zone heavy than that. They don't shadow receivers like that. But anybody who draws Tre'Davious White in coverage, it's probably not somewhere that you want to go with the ball. That's not your first option to go with the ball. He's not some sort of athletic specimen. He doesn't run a 4.2, doesn't have a 50-inch vertical. He's not particularly big, but he is one of the most technically sound, technically gifted cornerbacks that you're going to come across in the NFL. Just kind of like Xavier Howard, he's very good at taking the ball away. You saw he had a hell of an interception against the Commanders last week. But it is a matchup overall because of who's on the other side of Tre'Davious White. It's a matchup that the Dolphins should win, but I don't think it's particularly saying much because most NFL teams don't have 2 cornerbacks that can cover Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. That's a mismatch. It's a mismatch.
Yeah. Are you expecting Julian Hill to become a bigger part of the offense? Because he is getting more snaps.
I mean, not particularly define bigger part of the offense. Just more snaps, maybe more inline blocking, more things like that. Sure. I think he did have an opportunity where he maybe could have scored last week. There was I think it was like a miscommunication or just overall drop and bad throw. But, there's opportunity for him to score last week. But this is not an offense that necessarily channels through its tight ends. You need to know how to block. You need to know how to block in this game, and that's really important. Unless you are a George Kittle type, which I don't know if I'm ready to put Julian Hill in that category yet.
Hey, let me ask you something. Tua winning Offensive Player of the Month. Are you seeing and sensing less questioning of who he is as a player now? Are people? Do you run into less of those people that still question him? I just wonder about that in the media circle.
I mean, not this week because it's Bills week, so it depends on who you follow. There's kind of that new influx of quarterbacks I would take above Tua, quarterbacks who you can put them in a whatever system with average players and still be good type deal. Like that, I think that argument is, I don't think, ever going to go anywhere. But I think more people are accepting the fact that making that argument doesn't make a difference. Saying he won't be this in this system, he's only this because of that. The system is built for him, and he is currently in that system. So like we deal with reality, right? We talk about reality, what is happening. So like I don't care what he would be in another system. He's not in that system. He's playing in this one. So you have to evaluate him based on what he's playing in and who he's playing with. And the fact of the matter is, he is playing with one of the best supporting casts in the NFL, and he's playing like one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, one of the best offensive players, period, in the NFL. So, you can argue, people can, complain and moan and move the goalposts. They can do whatever they want. But like the fact of the matter is, he's putting up XYZ numbers, and all that complaining is not going to stop that from happening. You know what I mean? If the Dolphins win the Super Bowl, wins MVP, what would he do if he was on the Texans? What would he do if he played for the Cardinals? I don't know, but who cares? It's a waste of brain power. It's a waste of time. So I think more people are starting to think logically in that standpoint, to where like these arguments it's not that they don't make sense or they don't have merit, it's that they're a waste of time. It is a waste of time. What would Pat Mahomes do on the Cardinals? I don't know. I'm not wasting my time thinking about it, because he plays with Andy Reid. He put up numbers with the greatest tight end of all time and one of the greatest playmakers in all time in Tyreek Hill. Like, that is what happened. That is what's happening. Like, that is something that we can quantify. That's what I want to spend my time on. I don't care what Tua could do on the Rams or the Cardinals. I don't care. Go put him. Right. Go trade him in Madden if you care that much. Go trade him and then let me know how it goes, and I'll pretend to listen. But until then, I'm going to deal with the reality. And the reality is, this guy's playing like the league MVP through 3 weeks. Still a lot of time left. We really don't even want to start talking about MVP award races, anything like that, until let's say week 10, give or take. But he's on a great path. He's on the right path.
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, he's pacing like he was last year in an MVP fashion. All right, so, okay, look, you're not replacing Connor Williams because he's a beast of a blocker. And so this question has nothing to do with replacing Connor Williams, okay? I know he has a couple of high snaps and all that. What have you seen from Liam Eichenberg, bro? Did the Dolphins all of a sudden find themselves a serviceable backup center? Or do you still think it's just a desperation move that he's filling in?
That's hard to say. I can't call him a serviceable backup center because we don't see him play that much. Like I think he was fine in limited fashion last week.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think
it's clearly been cross training. Like I think they hope that they found a serviceable backup center, but these are guys. The two backups are Lester Cotton and Liam Eichenberg, like neither of whom have ever been a full-time center. So it still kind of feels like you're playing a guy who's capable of playing the position rather than a guy who plays the position, if that makes sense.
I got it. But I thought, bro, when I watched the film, he did a nice job, dude. He did a solid job. Again, he's not the blocker that Connor Williams is. Connor Williams mauls the shit out of people, bro. I mean, he's good, man. He's really, really, really good. He's got to tweak the snapping. I get it. But, man, watch him after the snap. You won't complain one bit after the snap. That dude gets after it.
Yeah, he does. And so, like, it's hard to compare, and it's hard to just gush too much about Liam Eichenberg with such a small sample size. But you never know. Like, what scares me about putting him at center is that he's just had to play so many different positions since he's been in Miami. He's played right tackle. He's played left guard. He's played left tackle. Now you're cross-training him at center as well. Like I always think that what's best for linemen, unless they show proficiency in that type of versatility, what's best for linemen is just stick him at one spot and let him develop at that spot. This is not Madden, and you can't just you're 79, you're 82 left guard can't just go to right guard and also be an 82. Like I think if Madden was realistic, like they would drastically drop ratings when you did that. because like that's realistic. I think it's poisoning people's brain. So you know, I was willing to give him the benefit of that for a couple of years. At this point, I think it's clear he's more of a reserve depth piece than he is a cornerstone. But you know, I'm not going to say it's impossible. I'm not going to say it's impossible that he's a serviceable backup center. I'm saying that I'm not on board with saying that until I see it more often. But obviously, the irony is, if you're that you don't see him.
Are the Jets going to trade for Ryan Tannehill?
The Jets?
Yeah, they need a quarterback. They go trade for Ryan Tannehill.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, in terms of like their options right now, like what else is there? I said it on Around the Horn earlier. Like the NFL does not exist to service the needs of the New York Jets. No matter how much they're talked about on national media, no matter how much you see them on television, like the NFL doesn't wake up and say how to make the Jets better. So if the Jets call you for their backup quarterback or your backup, like if they call, I thought Jameis Winston would have been a great fit. If they call New Orleans and said, hey, can we have Jameis? The first thought in New Orleans is, the only reason why you're calling me is because you don't have a backup quarterback. If we trade you ours, then we don't have a backup quarterback. So no. Oh,
Jameis
is a reminder.
Jameis is such an odd bird in New York. That dude.
He's not afraid to throw it. That's all they need is just somebody who's not afraid to throw, and that's why I would say Tannehill's probably like the best bet because two reasons. Contract, I believe, is expiring. Shouldn't cost you too much.
Yes.
And Tennessee has quarterbacks on the roster who need to get an advanced look, like guys on their roster who, you know, they hope is their quarterback of the future, at least one of them, whether it's Levis or Willis. So, you know, there's an incentive for Tennessee to get rid of its starter. And then, two, Ryan Tannehill is at least not afraid to throw the ball. I don't think he's super effective. I don't think he's very good, but he's not scared to throw the ball. Like, it's not like I don't trust Ryan Tannehill to at least know what he's doing. You know, I don't think Zach Wilson knows what he's doing. Or if he does, like, his brain turns into that little butterfly game where it shoots it up in the air and you have to catch it with the net. Like, I would be worried about him if I was a coach. I don't think I would worry about Ryan Tannehill. It's a low ceiling, but a way higher floor than Zach Wilson.
What do you got going on ESPN so Dolphin fans can check you out, my friend?
I got a joint piece coming out tomorrow with Elena Getzenberg, our Bills writer, kind of detailing a few of the biggest takeaways and X factors of this weekend's matchup. So, you know, involving, you know, how do you stop Josh Allen? What makes the Dolphins offense so special? Who's a newcomer to look out for? So, you know, I had to write about Devon Achane. Not a whole lot of newcomers in this matchup for Miami, but he's one that everybody is obviously highly interested in. So that'll be out tomorrow. Always excited to link up with her. She does great work up there in Buffalo. And
no Ahmed this week, right?
What's that?
No Ahmed this week, right?
Even if Ahmed is healthy, man, I don't see a role for him moving forward. I think Devon Achane has done enough. Obviously, it's just one game. I'm not saying he's their feature back. I think Mostert hasn't done anything to relinquish that title. But,
no, I get that. But I'm just saying for depth purposes. That's all I'm saying. For depth purposes. That's all.
I would say Brooks. Another game with Brooks.
I love him.
Nothing to be trifled with. So
I love Brooks. I love all their backs. I love all their backs, all five of them. I think they're all productive players. I think they can all help you out. It doesn't really matter. Now, is one more dynamic than the other? Yeah, whatever. But all five. If you're blocking this way and your quarterback and your receivers are this threat, your running game is going to succeed no matter what. No matter what. So that's the beauty of what they've got going on now. They don't need to lean on a superstar. They got five guys. They've got talent. And everything else around them is working. All they've got to do is pick the hole and run it. That's it.
That's
Great.
the one.
That's it. Follow him on Twitter at Marcel_LJ and catch his work at ESPN and twice a week here doing his thing. Marcel, as always, appreciate you, my man. Have a great weekend and enjoy your travels.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Y'all take it easy. Enjoy it.
All right, baby. Be good. There you go. the great Marcel Louis-Jacques. Call our friends at Welton Rayome. They're in Hollywood. They service all of South Florida. Even listeners in Orlando are calling Welton Rayome and hiring them. And you should too if you're dealing with personal injury, criminal defense, bankruptcy, homeowner property damage, business owner claims, commercial litigation. Call my guys, Jeff Welt right now, or, of course, Daniel Rayome, 954-966-4646. That's 954-966-4646. Tell them that Big O sent you. We're still in the storm season. God forbid we get hit by any kind of storm, but if you have water damage, you want to call Welton Rayome, they're going to send their adjusters, and their adjusters are working for you. The insurance company, their adjusters are working for the insurance company, not for you. Welt and Rayome, 954-966-4646.
This has been another session of the Welton Rayome Miami Dolphins Report with Marcel Louis-Jacques. At Welton Rayome, they don't get paid unless you win. They handle complex personal injury claims caused by the fault of another in both state and federal courts. They handle auto, trucking, motorcycle slip and fall, and bicycle accidents. Call 954-966-4646. Welton Rayome can help.
You know, I tell you guys all the time about Cutter's Edge Pro, man, and what they did with our backyard and made it a pure oasis. That's our Sylvester tree right there on a beautiful day, providing a ton of sunshine. We've got one exactly like this out in the front yard, and it is absolutely gorgeous. There's Bono hanging around on the artificial turf. What's up, Bono? What's the word, baby? There you go, wagging that little tail. Maiden, there she is. Ziggy. How you doing, Ziggy? There you go. So we got the doggies hanging out. So just want to give you a little, we got some of the trees starting off from this way with the artificial turf. You see, there's Ziggy again, of course. Got it all the way. And look, we got some flowers coming out. That tree now will start to also spring, and it's absolutely beautiful too. So got all that. They can do all kinds of things for you in your backyard to kind of make it an oasis, which is what we've done. And obviously the dogs can play. What's up, Bono? I got them there hanging out. Maiden, there she is. There she is, the one and only. She is mean as a skunk, by the way. Just want you to know. She's awesome with us, but I mean, if you're a stranger, you don't want to meet mated. So as you can see, and then the artificial turf, remember, there's no watering. There's no cutting the grass. It looks fabulous like this the entire time. You know what I'm saying? It's beautiful. Back here in this corner is where we put the barbecue. I wheel it out, cook, then I wheel it back in. See, looks beautiful, doesn't it? Flowers are coming out. It's awesome. And then when I want to play a little golf, there's my putting green down the side, which is a beautiful thing. There's one of the holes all the way to the other side where Bono is at. All lights up. It's really beautiful when it lights up. See, we got the rough. Got several. Got one on that side. Got one over there in the corner. Bono's leaving. Got rough all over the place, man. Just in case, you get the ball trapped in there. That's it. That's another swing. Right, Maiden? So, check it out. CuttersEdgePro.com. Make your home an oasis. Make your business, your HOA complex, condominium, you name it, they got you, bro. They do it all. All right? Then cut your trees down. And the artificial turf, I swear by it. Really easy to maintain, and it looks just absolutely freaking beautiful. Cutter's Edge Pro. Right, Ziggy?
I think I know what this is. Houston, we have a package. Hello?
No matter where you are, the Sloman Shield Home Security System guards your home. With next-gen perimeter protection, 24/7 monitoring, and interior motion sensing. And right now, get a free Sloman Shield security system and doorbell camera, all professionally installed, for free.
Shield your world, the Sloman Shield.
Welton Rayome has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They're committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. At Welton Rayome, they don't get paid unless you win. Property damage claims to your home, business, or condo as a result of a hurricane. Welton Rayome can help. Water, mold, fire, smoke damage, Welton Rayome can help. Call 954-966-4646. When you move, you need a reliable company led by passionate folks eager to assist its customers during a transitional process that needs to be smooth. Call Essential Moving Experts at 844-368-5750 for all your local and long-distance moving needs. You can rely on Essential Moving Experts. Mention the Big O Radio Show and get $150 off. Family owned and operated. They offer free 30-day storage, full service moving, fully licensed, bonded, and insured. Moving was never so easy. EssentialMovingExperts.com.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
All right, we are back, baby. MGM Grand here in Las Vegas. It is the Canelo Alvarez and Jermell Charlo fight. It's going on Saturday. Tomorrow will be the craziness of the weigh-in. It'll be a lot of fun. The room is packed, and there's all kinds of folks in the house, so we're having some fun. We appreciate all of you out there joining us. Ira Winderman joined us earlier. Marcel Louis-Jacques joined us. We'll be tomorrow. This show is going to be absolutely loaded. We actually moved David Furones to Friday. So it'll be Manny Navarro, Cameron Wolf, Anthony Chang, Safadine, David Furones. So we're going to have a boatload of people joining us on Friday. Plus, we'll be here. We'll have some more interviews for you also. So there we go. My man Jim Rodriguez in the house, walking around. So good stuff there. We got all kinds of folks hanging out here in the media room. Who else did we see? Damn it, what's my boy from Univision? Bermudez, Victor Bermudez. I saw Victor Bermudez in the, or is it Telemundo? I think it's Telemundo, actually. No, I think it's Telemundo, actually, that Bermudez works for. So Bermudez is in the house. So we got a couple people. Mike Dixon, who works for the Raiders. He's a Miami guy. I was just talking to Mike a little while ago. Really, really good dude. It's good. It's good to touch base with some people you haven't seen in a while and things like that. Although some of the faces have changed. Man, I've been coming to this thing so much that one of the guys that I used to like gravitate to and hang out with every once in a while in the evenings would be Bert Sugarman. And we lost him, man. And he would be around here walking around doing interviews. I would always bring Bert on when I would come out here for HBO back in the day. And you would learn a world of boxing from Bert Sugarman because he just knew so damn much. And he was such a good dude. You know what I mean? So there were just people that are no longer with us, unfortunately. And some people are no longer coming by. In the boxing world, they've gotten a little older and out of the game. So I can see there's a lot of new faces. I can tell you that I can see some new faces because I had not been here for a couple of years myself. Obviously, one of my trips to 640. Unfortunately, you know the story, right? Oh yeah. The idiots at 640 screwed up my. They screwed up my HBO stuff. And the HBO people ended up getting pissed at me for something that they did. And I was trying to explain, hey, it was them. And so they were pissed at me for a short time. And I was like, yo, man, I was trying to explain it was these idiots. And, these people sometimes, man, they're irresponsible. And, you build relationships and you want to keep relationships going and all that. And some people who are irresponsible just ruin those relationships. I feel like a beast, says Canelo. I like it. Should be fun. By the way, Bitcoin is over 27,000 right now. Interesting. It's actually had a nice little run today. The Dow is up 116 points. The S&P is up 25 points. The NASDAQ is up half a point right now, not a ton. Let me see. Is the Hard Rock app? I thought the Hard Rock app was supposed to go up last Monday. Oh, wait a minute. It's asking me to select a state. Wait a minute. It never did that before. Oh, so they went to the Supreme Court? Oh, man. Okay. So still working on it. Damn it. That's all right. I mean, I don't need the app at the moment because I'm in Vegas. So it's not important right now to need the app. Oh, with the first reports that the Heat were willing to offer 3 first-rounder and Pinks, TH, and Jovic, and 2 second-round picks. If that's true, how close did Cronin still have? How does he still have a job? See, that's the thing, Steven. Nobody really knows. Those are all reports. Nobody really. Did LeBatard report that? That's about the only guy. If LeBatard said that they were given those 3 first-rounders and 2 second-rounders, then I might believe it. But nobody else really has any insight on the Heat and Pat Riley and anything. They don't talk to anybody. So that's the thing. That's just crap that's thrown out there. If Lebby may have said it, then I might have some, okay. He did? If Levy said it, I didn't hear it. Are you sure Levy said it, Steven? That's the other thing. Okay. I don't want to put Levy, I don't want to throw him under the bus when he didn't say something. Okay. But I'm just saying he's like the only guy in the country that could tell me something out of the heat. And then I've got to like say, okay. And that's it. That's the only guy. I don't know of anybody else, not Woj or anybody else. Woj has the agency connections, and that's what makes him connected to everybody. You know, all the players and they are tied to the same agency and all that kind of stuff. So he has the in. That's how a lot of these insiders get the in, that they're tied to these big agencies, and then the agencies also represent the players, and so then they get all the dirt. That's how Woj breaks all the stories. It's not anything magical or anything like that. It's just one hell of a connection. You know what I'm saying? So if he said that, then maybe there's something to it. But the bottom line is, I still blame only one person. Damian Lillard, bro. If Damian Lillard really wanted to go to Miami, then he plays hardball like every other basketball player does. In the NBA, players get their way. But you got to play hardball. And apparently, Dame's too nice. He's too decent of a dude. And he wasn't really willing to make a stink. LeBron will make a stink, and he'll sign a one-year deal and hold you hostage and make sure that you're doing the right things, like he should. Antetokounmpo, the nicest guy in the world this offseason, said, I'm not signing an extension until I see the commitment from the Bucks. Dame wasn't willing to be a dick. And sometimes in life, in order to get what you want versus corporations and things like that, you're going to have to play hardball when you have that leverage. If you don't have that leverage, then you'll never be able to play hardball. He had the leverage. He failed to use it. So, Steven, I only blame one person, Damian Lillard. Damian Lillard really wasn't truly committed to Miami. That was a lie. The second it didn't go his way, he folded like a cheap tent. Now, the good thing for Damian is he still went to a championship-like situation, because playing with Giannis and the rest of those guys, you got a shot at a title. Coming to Miami, you would have had a shot at a title. So at least he wasn't traded to the Charlotte Hornets or the Orlando Magic. You know what I'm saying? If he was traded to those places, then yeah, like, what are you doing, bro? You know? So at least he said, well, okay, I'll go to Milwaukee. He wasn't ever really committed to Miami. And so he showed me no balls whatsoever in that situation. He's got plenty of balls on the court inside a 24-second clock. But when it came to life and business, apparently Dame doesn't have a backbone for that. So he gave in quickly, and he allowed Joe Cronin to do that. That's it, bro. Don't blame the Heat. Don't blame Joe Cronin. Damian Lillard's, but he ends up winning anyways. He gets his way because he goes to Milwaukee. So he's got a shot. But the bullshit part was, oh, no, I really want to go to Miami. No, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't. You're a liar. Bosh, Butler, LeBron, they wanted to come to Miami. This guy, no. Your Jimmy take is horse shit. Oh, Mickey has become cheap. What does Mickey being cheap have anything to do on Jimmy? I'm not exactly sure. He's not the Mickey doesn't. He was willing to pay for Damian Lillard. So how's he not willing to do it? I'm not exactly sure. And it's up to Jimmy to recruit the guys. Got it. That's kind of what stars do. It's up to stars to recruit other stars to their team. Victor is Telemundo. Somebody's putting there, Rosendo. It's a shame HBO did not know you, Big O. You do not lie when it comes to the 640 type stuff. Well, People don't really know the ins and outs of radio at times. And so neither did HBO. And that's why. So, Dame probably got threatened in some way, which Cronin made him an offer he couldn't refuse. Hold up. Let me not look like shit. I'll get back to you, says Steven on that side. He wasn't sure. Big O, your take on the whole Dame Lillard thing is way off, but hey, we're all entitled to your own opinion. I think all parties are to blame, including Riley. All right, that's up to you, bro. Wasn't the reports that he wanted to come to Miami and only Miami? What does that have to do with Riley then? Please explain that part, Lenny. That's what I want you to explain to me. Okay, if the reports are he only wanted to come to Miami, what does that have to do with Riley or Arison or Joe Cronin or anybody else outside of Dame? Just explain that one to me. If you can give me a reasonable explanation, then maybe I can come off it. If you can't, you're full of shit. How do you like that, Lenny? So you give me the exact excuse or the explanation. Dame said, reports said, he wanted only Miami. What does that have to do with Riley? Please, I'd love to hear a logical explanation on how Riley gets blamed for that. Because that's what Riley's counting on. Riley deals in hard line here. He's not going to give up a ton. He's not going to do the New York trade to Denver for Carmelo Anthony. That's a stupid freaking trade. You end up giving the entire franchise for Melo. And then when you get Melo, Melo has no team around him. Well, that was smart. Denver goes to the playoffs. Denver doesn't. So Riley wasn't going to give up the entire house for Lillard because what are you trying to acquire him for? To win a title. So he's supposed to play the hard line. And then on the other side, if you're really committed to Miami, you're supposed to play the hard line. You didn't. So what's the explanation? I still see no post from you, Lenny. None. That's the problem, dude. You can't comment on this thing. You're going to get challenged. And when I challenge you, you got nothing. You got nothing, dude. Explain. It was all Lillard and his agent. The agent was reprimanded by the NBA for telling teams that he only wants to go to Miami. So if you were really committed to Miami, what does that have to do with Riley? Still waiting for an explanation, Lenny. See, that's the problem, bro. I can tell you you're wrong, and I'll tell you why you're wrong. You're telling me I'm wrong, and you got nothing. Look at you. You're taking forever. You can't even think of an excuse. You can't come up with bullshit to convince me. Because it's the only thing you could come up with. And look, I'm still watching the chat board here. 200 people on the chat board. Where are you, bro? What's up, Lenny? What's the explanation? You got none, right? You're full of shit. You know? It's like, I'm wrong. I don't care. No, he's full of shit weasel is what he is. He's a full of shit weasel. Okay? Don't tell me I'm wrong. You got no explanation. None. Because it has nothing to do with Riley. He's supposed to do his part. He folded like a little bitch. Joe Cronin told him, I'm not trading you to Miami. And he said, oh, okay. And that's it. If that was James Harden, he says, no, you're trading me to Miami. I ain't going anywhere else. Look at James Harden is holding a party, and the party's theme is Daryl Morey's a liar. And look, I'm not here to defend James Harden in any way, shape, or form. I'm not a James Harden fan in any way. But I just gave you Giannis. I just gave you LeBron. Most players, when they in the NBA, when they want to make a stink, they get the hell out, dude. And they go wherever they want to go. The Stars. So it had zero to do with Riley in this case. This has everything to do with Damian Lillard. He's a tough dude on the court. He's a tough dude in a 24-second clock. In the world of business, he ain't got no balls. That's the reality. Live with it. Maybe can school me how many NBA finals has Damian been to? How many championships? It's not Riley's fault. He was no give the team anyway. Oh, give the team away. Would have to like to have him. I get what you're saying now, Pablo. That he would have to give the team away, and he wasn't willing to do it, and all that. Listen, Damian's been a hell of a player. I got no problem with him as a player. I only have a problem with him right here. Don't tell me that you wanted to go to Miami then. Don't bullshit me then, dude. Stick to your guns, bro. And he didn't stick to his guns. Big O, I'm in Vegas as well. Where you hanging tonight? I don't know yet. I might be back here at the media room at 5 for the game. I got to go bet the game. I got to go bet the Lions. Got to bet the Dolphins. I got to cash my ticket from last year on the Dolphins. What else? I don't know. There's concerts here tonight, too. I may go to a concert tonight. So, I don't know yet. I don't know. I haven't decided what I'm going to do yet for tonight. So, that I'm still trying to decide. I know what Sean's going to do. He's going to work and sleep. Although I was thinking I might have to do that tonight because I am a little tired from yesterday. Right? Oh, God. That's crazy. Well, I can see Frank Marino. I can see the Jabberwockies. I can see Donny Osmond. And they call it pumping love. I'm old enough for that shit. Lady Gaga is here. Jazz and the piano. That's actually not bad. I've never seen Lady Gaga. She's talented, man. She is gifted. What else do we have? No, that's it. Tomorrow I've got U2. So Tesla's in the house too. That's awesome. That is awesome. Wayne Newton is there, of course, because it's Las Vegas. Adele's here. She's at Caesar's Palace. Carrie Underwood is at Resorts World Theater. Badfinger is at the Golden Nugget. Tesla, by the way, is at the House of Blues on Saturday. Just in case, if you're coming out, the Chainsmokers on Saturday. That's pretty cool, dude. I like the Chainsmokers. They're a talented duo. What else is out here? U2, obviously, on Saturday also. Oh, the Jason Bonham Led Zeppelin experience. They're coming down to South Florida. They're going over to Immokalee. For those of you that live out in the, Gold Coast. So Jason Bonham's Led Zeppelin experience is going to, Collective Soul is here on Saturday. They're good, man. I love Collective Soul. Very, very enjoyable. All right. There's some concerts, but it doesn't look like I'm going to go to anything tonight. Not a concert. So maybe I'll watch the game. Oh, we have a free meal here and drinks. So very, yeah, appetizers. Yeah, food, but whatever. Liquor and appetizers, and then you can watch it here. Sean's watching the boxing match they've got playing on right now. Jesse, thank you, sir, for the early happy birthday. For those of you that don't know, Sunday is my birthday. We will be 57 years old on October 1st. And Sunday for our birthday, we will be at Tommy Rocker's right off of Dean Martin Boulevard. And that's a Dolphins bar. And we're going to be there for the Dolphins pre and post game show for the Bills. So if you are in Las Vegas and you want to hang out with us Sunday, 8 a.m. starts the pregame, obviously 11 a.m. out east. But 8 a.m. here, we'll start the pregame show. We'll get you ready for the Dolphins and the Bills. And then we'll have that incredibly happy postgame where the Dolphins beat the Bills. And we get to have a little fun, which is a beautiful thing. Saw George Carlin at Las Vegas once. Tickets are pretty cheap for good entertainment, great buffets, and the best fresh milk I've ever tasted was at Vegas. Really? Yeah. That's it. You remember Las Vegas fresh milk. Yeah, how do you know it's fresh? And seeing George Carlin, God, I love George Carlin, dude. George Carlin was freaking hilarious, man. One of the greats of all time is George Carlin. It's out to the right. Okay? You'll see it there. The great Sean Stanley. Big O, just check. Could not find out is Waddle. Yeah, Waddle's playing, dude. He's been back at practice, full practice. He's playing, dude. He's back. Remember listening to you when you were 27. God. That's a long time ago, bro. Long time ago. Happy early birthday, Big O. Now the Dolphins have to win Sunday. It's a must. Oh, they got to win. They got to. I need a win on my birthday. I don't really give a shit about my birthday normally, okay? Like, I try to not make it anything every year with my wife. And this year, it's not anything either, but the Dolphins and Bills on a year where I know the Dolphins are a good team and I know Tua's the real deal. This is the only present I've ever really wanted for my birthday since I was a child. Yeah, when you're a child, you always want some gifts. But as an adult, I really don't give a shit anymore about my birthday, to be quite honest. I think it's just a normal day. I move on, whatever. It's nice. Very nice people remember or say happy birthday, but just another day. But this year, with the Bills landing on my birthday and this Dolphins team, it can be a pretty damn good team. This is one I want badly. I want it badly. Why your birthday is a national holiday? No, it's just a regular day. I just saw James Brown at the House of Blues just before he died. Too hot in the hot tub. Lenny says, sorry, I was working, Big O. I believe whenever you have a chance to add an all-time great player to put over the top, you have to make that trade. I think, right. You see, you didn't answer. Lenny, this is why you're full of shit, my man. Again, if Damian Lillard sticks to his guns and Joe Cronin says, I'm not trading you to Miami, I want to trade you to Milwaukee, and you tell Joe Cronin, you stick him the middle finger and you tell him, hey, Joe, I'm not going to Milwaukee. I don't want to play in Milwaukee, and I'll make sure to tell him that. And I'm telling you that I don't want to play in Milwaukee and I don't want to play for you anymore. So trade me to Miami and figure out a deal, because I'm going to make your life a living hell. Okay? And if you want to get out of something, you get out of it. And that's what the deal was between the Heat and Lillard and his agent. Lillard and his agent did not live up to it, and they folded like a cheap tent. It had nothing to do with what you offered them, because what they took wasn't anything out of this world outside of Ayton. And they got rid of the Nurkic salary, which was huge for him. Got a couple picks, whatever, but the Ayton part was the main thing, because they have everything else. They needed a big man. So there was a method behind the madness. But in the end, your explanation does not answer my question. if you were stuck to your guns and you wanted to get out, why didn't you get out? Why did you capitulate and why did you give in and go to where they sent you? So you're wrong, dude. You just want to blame Riley just to blame Riley. I'm not. I'm laying all of this on Damian Lillard and his agent. He didn't have the guts you needed to do what he wanted to do. So he settled. I disagree with you 1,000%. I think you're reading it completely wrong. And by blaming Riley, I think that's incredibly unfair. That's the way I look at it. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Remember, you can make a donation through Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. We are here at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas. Jacob Salter says, out here in Vegas and would love to grab a drink later today. Hope you're enjoying Vegas. Jacob, come on out and meet us, man, right out here. We're in the MGM Grand. Anytime, my man. Appreciate it. Love to meet any of you. And remember, Sunday, meet us over at Tommy Rockers, man. Right here. It's I don't know, maybe 10 blocks away from here, 8 blocks away from here. It's not really that far. So thank you, sir, for the love on Venmo. I appreciate it. Let's, when sports and business collide, we like doing something called the KSDT CPA Sports Business Report. Move the Utah Jazz just made, and one that you can expect to be copied by many in the future and by others. The Utah Jazz have revealed subscription details for its new Jazz Plus streaming service debuting this season as part of the NBA's revamped local broadcasting model. In June, the Jazz announced its plan to air future games on Sinclair Broadcast Group's over-the-air Utah TV station KJZZ and leave its previous local broadcast partner AT&T Sportsnet as its present company. Warner Brothers Discovery exits the regional sports network business. Local fans now can stream the Jazz Plus, offering annual subscriptions for $125.50, monthly subscriptions for $15.50, and single game passes for $5. The annual subscription will give you access to 80-plus preseason and regular season games, coming out to about $1.50 a game. It also offers exclusive behind-the-scenes Jazz content, such as on-demand games, video programming in the monthly tier. Fans who purchase the Jazz Plus annual pass by October 24th will also receive whatever. That I don't care about that. But anyway, this is something that is going to take over all of sports, and especially in markets that they need to generate as much revenue as possible, because you don't live in New York, you don't live in Miami, you don't live in Chicago, you don't live in Atlanta, you don't live in Los Angeles, Dallas, Houston, some big towns that have got a lot of corporations, a lot of money, and you can, there's ways to do it. But when you're in Orlando, or you're in Charlotte, or you're in Detroit, or you're in Utah, and it just is a little bit more limited for you, and revenue streams are very important. This is where, while I don't have any respect for him as an owner of a football team, Jerry Jones, I do respect his business acumen, because he does maximize the hell out of the Dallas Cowboys. And when it comes to producing revenue streams, my God, the Cowboys produce more revenue streams than almost any team. They find any and every angle possible, and they milk it. So I give them credit there. This is something that a lot of teams are going to have to do. And get ready because it starts at $1.50 now. In 30 years, you're down to playing $15 a game to watch it. It's going to get crazy. And it's going to be a lot of and remember, the way they do it like this, think about this. So you pay for it, right? You're streaming it, correct? Okay. Well, when you had Sunshine Network or Fox Sports Florida, are you getting it in Arabia or London? Can you stream it now and pay? I'm not saying there's a ton of Utah Jazz fans in London or in Africa or in Argentina, but there's going to be fans of other teams all over the world. And now they're going to be able to get those revenue streams from them directly. It's coming, man. It's coming. KSDT CPAs, baby. Lou, use that QR code right there. They are amazing. They will make a difference in your life, your business, especially your business. Those of you that want to take your business to the next level, okay? You want to find out what the value of your business is. You want to make sure, listen, as things are changing in the economy, that kind of changes what you have to do in business. KSDT can help you with those changes, from payroll to expenses to insurance, you name it, to planning, by the way, from 401ks to everything else that you've got to do. Reach out to the people. If you're selling the business, you want to find out what the value is. KSDT CPA can help you out also doing that. So hit that QR code right there, put your phone on it, hit it, or call them 305-670-3370.
This has been the KSDT Sports Business Report. KSDT CPA is one of South Florida's largest and one of the country's fastest growing accounting firms. KSDT is recognized by Forbes as one of the top tax and accounting firms for 2022. KSDT CPA is a full service firm that also excels in crypto. Visit online at ksdtcpa.com or call 305-670-3370.
All right. Thank you all, as always, for tuning in and keeping it locked. Let's see. Let's get into a little music history. Why don't we do that? Today is September 28th. So let's get into some birthdays today on the 28th. Let's see who's celebrating. Hillary Duff is 36. Jeezy, the rapper, is 46. Frankie Jones, the actor, is 23. Mira Sorvino is 56 years old. Let's see. Naomi Watts is 55. Didn't think she was that old, by the way. Bam Margera, 44. That dude's got a lot of problems. What else? Ben E. King, born in 38 on this date. Lost him in 2015. Bridget Bardot, she's still with us. She is 89 years old, dude. Let's see who else celebrating birthdays today. Tyler Lockett, Seattle Seahawks receiver, is 31. Dita Von Teese, the Instagram star and Mrs. Tattoos, she is 51. She was the one that was married to, what's the name? The guy from South Florida, Marilyn Manson, right? Wasn't she married or going out with him or something? And they had some stuff go on. So anyways, those are birthdays. Let's go with music history today. In 1974, on this date, Bad Company went to number 1 on the U.S. album charts with their self-titled debut album, Bad Company, Till the Day I Die. In 2001, Courtney Love filed a suit against Geffen Records and surviving Nirvana members Dave Grohl and Chris Novoselic, seeking control of the band's master recordings and $3.1 million in royalties she felt the band was cheated out of. Courtney Love is such a loser. In 76, A&M Records sued George Harrison for $6 million for missing the deadline on his album 33 1/3 by 2 months, the Beatles had been sick with hepatitis. In 2003, Muse had the number one album in their home of the UK and their fourth record, Absolution. In 2010, on this date, Neil Young released his 31st studio album, Le Noise. In 2010, Soundgarden released their career-spanning compilation album, Telephantism, and the same day was certified platinum for sales going over 1 million units because the set also included the video game Guitar Hero Warriors of Rock. And that, my friends, is what happened today in music history. All right. Did you see the Phillies fan that went to the baseball game the other day? See what he tried to bring into the stadium? Tried to bring in his pet alligator. That's right. A fan tried to bring in his pet alligator to a Phillies game on Wednesday night. And wouldn't you know it, he was denied by security. I mean, come on. The fan is an alligator expert, Joey Henney, who lives in near Hershey, Pennsylvania. Henney caused a stir outside Citizens Bank Park when he tried to bring his pet gator, Wally Gator, that was creative, to the Phillies Pirates game. Henney and Wally were denied because the alligator is registered as an emotional support animal and not a service animal. A social media star who goes by Philly the Captain, or the Philly Captain, that is, took the photos and videos of Wally and Henney Wednesday. Some fans were brave enough to pet Wally, who, according to Henney, does not bite. I saw this video the other day of this guy that has a pet gator that's like his buddy. You saw the video too? And it's a giant gator. And dude, he hangs with it like nothing. Like it'll get in the pool with him and swim around, and he'll put his face right next to it and all that. And like the gator's like fun with him, having fun and all that. And you're like, bro, this is weird. Like, you just can't understand it, And there he is carrying the gator on his shoulder. Yeah, no, I mean, no, he has a leash on it and everything. No, he doesn't. Yeah. Henney and Wally were featured on CBS News last year. Henney had talked at the time about Wally's rare and special demeanor. He says, I've never met an alligator that will not bite you. You fool around with their heads. Their instinct is to grab you. He does not do that. You can reach in there and rub his tongue. He refuses to close his mouth. We don't know why. You're going to rub his tongue? Rub his tongue? That's what she said. I mean, that's not good, bro. Yeah. Lenny's like, okay, it's sports. We can all agree to disagree. I'm not blaming Riley all the way. I think Lillard and his agent played it wrong from the beginning by saying they only wanted Miami. Well, then they're all at fault, dude. Riley's not at fault here. Riley has nothing at fault here. He counted on them to play hardball. That's kind of the trick. Okay, you want to be here? We want you here. Okay, great. You play hardball. We'll play hardball. We'll get it done like it normally happens in the NBA. And the dude wasn't willing to go all out. There's no agree to disagree here, bro. You're wrong. You're dead ass wrong, and you can't blame Riley for this. And you're not going to make a Carmelo trade, bro. Is that what you really want, Lenny? To unload everything? And then when you get him, you don't have enough around him and Jimmy? No, dude. No, you can try to spin it all you want, dude. You're wrong. I'm sorry. You're wrong. And you didn't have an explanation because you can't have an explanation. Because those guys said that they only wanted to go to Miami. That's a lie. They lied. They cowered out of the whole situation. That's the only way to look at it with those guys. I'm sorry, dude. There's no agree to disagree here or any of that bullshit. Those cowards backed out. And that's why we're in this situation. What? You can believe whatever you want to believe. If you want to blame Riley, go ahead. I just think it's absolutely unfair to blame Riley here. Riley knows what he was doing. It just unfortunately it didn't happen on the other end. And it sucks. Absolutely sucks. What else do we have? Any breaking news? Have I while I've been on? I haven't checked if there's any breaking football news. Garoppolo returns to Raiders practice. Frank Clark hopes to nothing. Taylor Swift, yeah, she's going to the next game. Big deal. Saints seek to match Bill Belichick's Browns with 12 straight games allowing 20 points or less. Okay. Nope, nothing new. There is nothing new. You guys got any questions for me before we wrap things up here? Got any questions? Happy early birthday today, Big O. Our Finns get the dub on Sunday. Tua will be lighting it up, and may God bless you with many more healthy years. Thank you for what you do. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you. To Extreme Big O. So are you making a trade for Holiday or Healed, or are you staying out of the roster as it stands? The roster as it stands is not a championship roster. So I think if you don't have to give up too much for Drew Holiday and you can extend him for a year or two, then yes, I'm making it. I'm not making a trade for Holiday when he only has 1 year left and he has a player option and he can leave. And I don't like that, because if things don't go well or whatever, then he ends up leaving and you traded for something. The Buddy Hield stuff, I don't even know what he would be available for. And I think, isn't he looking for money also? So I don't know. That one's kind of, that one's different. I don't know when the Hard Rock app is going live, Hunter. I have no idea. Apparently, Sean told me I didn't know that they took it to the Supreme Court now. So I guess we're waiting for that ruling so we can have our app back so we can gamble a little bit. Big O, did you place a bet on the Dolphins? No, I did not, man. I did not, because I could not find that online. What's for dinner tonight? I have no idea. Zero clue what we're going to eat tonight. I'm not even thinking about it. Remember, it's 2:50 out here. So we're not even at dinner time yet. We haven't even eaten lunch yet. We haven't eaten lunch. I had you know what I had? I had fries. That's it. Fries for breakfast. I went over to Nathan's. That is right here, because they have right here inside the MGM Grand, they have like all kinds of, like a food court like. And I went to Nathan's just because I love their fries. And that's all I ordered, a small batch of fries. I brought them over. I ate a couple of them, and Sean ate a few, just to get something in our system. That's all we have in our system. And it's 2:50. So we got to eat lunch now. Yeah. Please, I just hope I don't think James Harden, bro. I don't think so. Staying with the roster as it stands, if I can make a move to improve, I'm going to make a move to improve. Big O Baldy has a breakdown posted last couple of hours, says it'll be interesting to see how Bills and Bernard can handle a team that will run the ball right at them this week. Yep. Yeah, and the best part, okay, this is what I want this week against the Bills. Okay? This is what I want. Last year, in that second game, you were handing them their ass. You were running the ball at 7 yards a carry. Your running backs are better this year, because Mostert looks better this year. Plus, you added A-Chain. Your offensive line is healthier than it ever was last year. And guess what? Playing way better, because everybody knows their role. Your quarterback, obviously, and receivers are playing at an incredibly high level. Your head coach is scheming stuff now that is leaving defensive coordinators and players just bamboozled. So I need to see you run the hell out of the football. And one of the things that we talked about last year, you can go back and watch it, I said, if you run, you're going to make Tua even more dangerous. Like any quarterback in the history of the game. The more you run, the more dangerous that quarterback will be. Because those linebackers are not on their heels, they're on their toes. They're coming at the line of scrimmage. You're sucking that safety in. Now you got stuff over the top. Now you got stuff in the middle because the linebackers are moving in. You need to run the hell out of the football. And in that second game last year, you were averaging 7 yards a carry. You saw what happened last week. Overall, the Dolphins are averaging 6.1 yards per carry. Run the hell out of the football. Okay? There cannot and the good thing is last year you averaged 22 carries a game. You are now averaging through the first 3 games 31. We talked about this all last year. You need to get back to running more of the football, especially when you were having success. Last year, you weren't having success in every game. This year, the first game you chose not to run. But you probably could have run on the Chargers if you felt like it. That was sending a message. Now you can run the football. And you know what? You've proven you can run against this team. So that's what Baldy is talking about. And I want to see that on Sunday. I want to see you punish the hell out of the Bills. I want you to limit Josh Allen's possessions. I want you to force Josh Allen to be great throwing the football because I believe he cannot be great throwing the football on a consistent basis. I believe you will get him to make some mistakes. So run the hell out of the football. All right, we thank Ira Winderman. We thank Marcel Louis-Jacques. We thank Jesus Ramos Jr. We thank Elijah Garcia. We thank Brian Kuster. Am I forgetting anybody else? Sean Stanley, of course, who I should never forget, the man that masters this entire platform every single day, and the man that I am blessed to work with every single day, and that you are blessed to have his work produced for you every single day. We are all grateful for the great Sean Stanley. And by the way, Steve Pratt, and Mitch, and Martin Bader, wherever you're at, Martin, I know I saw you a little while ago, and I said I haven't seen him personally to say hi and give the man a hug because he's such a good dude. But thanks to all the great people at Showtime. We'll be back tomorrow. Again, it'll be in the afternoon. It'll be around 3 o'clock. We'll start again, and we'll have a ton of interviews getting you ready for the Dolphins and the Bills, and plus we'll have some other interviews here in the house as we get you ready for Charlo and Canelo Alvarez on Saturday, pay-per-view Showtime. You all be good out there. We'll see you tomorrow afternoon, same time, same place, same bat channel. Have a good one.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.